Here comes your 1-minute time check for this Auburn broadcast. Mark. "30 seconds till broadcast." Mark.
From the Auburn Sports Network and Playfly Sports, Auburn baseball is on the air. 25 NCAA tournaments, 8 regional titles, and 6 trips to the College World Series. Exclusive game day coverage begins with the leadoff show. Now, let's go out to the ballpark.
Auburn and Kentucky come into this key SEC series from differing angles. The Tigers took 2 of 3 at home against Arkansas last weekend, then lost in the midweek to Jacksonville State. Kentucky dropped 2 of 3 at home to Missouri, then upset Louisville in the midweek. Both teams are 6-6 in the SEC. Good evening and War Eagle from Sanford Stadium, Hitchcock Field at Plainsman Park. With Brad Law and Quinn Burkina in our Skyview Auburn studio, I'm Andy Burcham. Auburn struggled in its midweek tilt with number 21 Jacksonville State. The 10th-ranked Tigers lost in run rule fashion Tuesday. The mantra since then is figure it out as the Tigers reach the midway mark of the SEC. No team runs more than Kentucky. The Wildcats have 94 stolen bases in 113 attempts. UK has been hit more than any other team in the SEC, 87 times. Auburn goes with Andreas Alvarez tonight. The sophomore right-hander is 5-1 with a 0.96 earned run average. Kentucky counters with Jackson Jelkin. The junior right-hander is 6-0 with an ERA of 2.96. When we return, the Butch Thompson pregame report. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Strike out ants, termites, and other pests with a call to Cook's Pest Control. Cook's proven pest control methods and superior termite control system keep your home safe and are backed by a 110% satisfaction guarantee. As the weather gets warmer, your spring cleaning isn't done until you call the official pest control partner of the Auburn Tigers, Cook's Pest Control.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward, so listen close. You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down for your people. You are strong, you are fearless, you are the baddest on the block. You are an elbow grease factory, a force of nature. You are not to be reckoned with. You are a ride or die, a powerhouse of productivity. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager, so raise it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Let's be honest, senior living shouldn't feel senior, and it's definitely not all about yelling, bingo! At Atlas Senior Living, we focus on great care, great people, and yes, great days. And no one telling you you can't have dessert before dinner. Well, maybe once. And with locations throughout the Southeast, chances are there's an Atlas community closer than you think. Atlas Senior Living, exceptional care, even better living. Visit atlasseniorliving.com to find a community near you and schedule a tour today.
Are you ready for your winning moment? Find it at Wind Creek Casino, where the action never stops. Hottest games, loosest spins, more ways to win. We've got the highest payouts and the most epic rewards. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner. Wind Creek Casino. Find your winning moment. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Game day coverage of Auburn baseball continues now with the Butch Thompson pregame report.
Well, this is a big series, Auburn and Kentucky here, about to get to the midway part of the Southeastern Conference season.
Well, this week all our visits been talking about FO, figuring things out, and our guys have been working hard at that. Our coach has been working hard at that, and today, right before we hit this field, I'll talk about like that feeling of opening day, and try to be freed up. I'm going to tell them they've done a good job of trying to figure things out and getting together and trying to work through some things, but try to get one thing ironed out. You don't need too many things in your head when you try to hit a baseball. I think we know how hard it is to hit a baseball, one of the toughest skills in sports, to try to free themselves up. Hopefully got a starting rotation that's ready to go. Got 4 guys in 3 games again. It worked last week, and hopefully it works again this week. But beautiful weather. It sounds like a lot of people are coming to town to cheer us on, so we're excited.
Talk about the move with Andreas to Friday, and basically the same rotation as last week, but a day later this weekend.
Yeah, it is. Hopefully it gives them another rest. If this is the strength of our ball club, which clearly it has been for the whole season, how can I keep those guys going for another 6 weeks? That's a little telescopic, but these guys got to be right here in the microscope each week, and you're trying to protect them. So Alvarez gets another day. Marciano gets an extra day. He's at 48 innings going into this start against Kentucky, and he threw 60 overall last year. So he's 12 innings away from his full season total. So those are some of the things that go into it. Also, man, a guy that's gone 5, 6, 7 innings almost every start this year, you like having on Saturday. And, if that holds true, you got less bullpen to work with and maybe Alvarez. And then if you can get to that third game with Petrovic and Sanders, whoo, that's good. But the other little twist to everything with everybody getting some rest this week, because immediately next week we switch back to Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I think the kicker this week is it's 6 days rest where Sanders only went 4 innings. So if we have a chance tonight behind Alvarez and there's 3 or 4 innings sitting there, the simplest path, if we're in good shape for the game, is maybe to just drop Sanders in. I don't think that has to be just an automatic Sunday deal. I think whenever the opportunity to win a game in this series, hopefully it's early, but whenever we get a chance to pass the baton from the starter to the bullpen, we might try to use Jackson Sanders early in this series if and when we have a chance.
What did you see from Dre in his first SEC start of the season?
The same growth. That's just been a trajectory. I just remember he went about 3 innings and 90 pitches that week before the season started, and that kind of slotted him toward Tuesday. And ever since then, it's just gotten better and better and better. And I just think landing that off speed, the curveball's got so much better and shaped up. A lot of credit to him and Tiford and Fox on that work there. But the strike percentages went up, the breaking balls landed, and it's helped the fastball survive. And that's what I was so excited to see in his first SEC start last week. And man, we're just, with these starters, we want to see consistent, repeatable performances, and hopefully, he'll be able to do that again tonight.
We saw what Jacksonville State could do Tuesday night offensively. You're going to see more of the same this weekend from Kentucky.
We are, and we've seen it a few times, and we just got to handle it. It's not like we should be surprised, even if you look surprised on the field. I think our guys know who these guys are, and they're up on that plate, the most hit by pitches, the most stolen bases, etc. A lot of bunts are just for show. So if you're watching a game tonight, some of these bunts are to see if we can keep shoving the ball in the strike zone to try to get leadoff men on, which we think such a big deal. But that's a huge part of their game here. So some of the bunting might be more to try to get advantage counts to hit more than per se like the traditional bunt. But there's no doubt they're up on that plate. They're not moving. And they've really, especially from first to second base, that's 94 stolen bases these guys have. So that's what they've been doing. That's how they've been able to run offense, and what's made those guys so competitive the last few years.
Should be a good pitching matchup tonight.
Yep, no doubt. They're guys in the same breath of like a Faye from Alabama, and Marciano, our guy, one of those guys at 6-0 that's just absolutely been dominant. Big, heavy, strong, mid-90s, 95, hard slider. So some of our lefties, man, could have a good night. Some of our righties might need to play a little more offense. I think that's part of our FIO mentality, is figuring out how we can use our pieces. And we're looking for an opening day freedom mentality and excitement, and kind of that freedom like we played out with in Arlington. Just let it go. We feel like we're squeezing it a little tight here lately, but hopefully these couple of days of getting together, staying together, will absolutely, show up tonight.
Go get him tonight, War Eagle.
War Eagle.
Children's of Alabama reminds you that every child's head injury should be treated like a serious injury until a doctor says it's not. The CDC estimates some 4 million sports and recreation-related concussions occur each year. Even a minor fall or collision may be a concern. Symptoms typically include headaches, unsteadiness, confusion, or sleepiness. To find out what to do in case of a suspected concussion, visit childrensal.org/concussion and always dial 911 in case of an emergency.
This is Riley Green with Boot Barn, sharing a deep respect for the cowboy way. Growing up, my dad and granddad showed me what a true cowboy spirit looked like. They'd be up before dawn working with their hands. They taught me to grab the heavy end of a job and always do the right thing and shake hands like you mean it. That grit, that honesty and pride, that's what it means to be a cowboy. Riley Green and Boot Barn, proudly honoring the cowboy way.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Yellowwood knows that a 5-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories. Like cookouts. Cornhole with friends. Ooh, a neighborhood potluck with your wife's pasta salad. The one with the feta. Oh, sorry. Or taking a nap on your deck in a hammock. Naps are memories. I love naps. For 5-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
The starting lineups are presented by Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
The Kentucky Wildcats are 24-8 overall on the season. Nick Mingione's club 6-6 in SEC play. Here is their lineup tonight. The leadoff man is the center fielder Jace Tharnish. Scott Campbell Jr. plays left field and bats second. Hitting third, it's the shortstop, Tyler Bell. Luke Lawrence is a designated hitter and the cleanup hitter for the Wildcats. Batting fifth and catching, it's Tagger Tyson. Carson Hansen is in right field. He hits sixth. Hitting seventh and making a second straight start at first base, it's Tyler Cerny. Ethan Hindle is the second baseman. He bats eighth. And batting ninth at third base, it's Caden Cloud. Again for Kentucky, Tharnish, Campbell, Bell, Lawrence, Tyson, Hansen, Cerny, Hindle, and Cloud. Now for your Auburn Tigers, 10th ranked in America, 22 wins and 10 losses. Butch Thompson's club also 6-6 in SEC play. A familiar lineup in the top half with a few changes in the bottom half of the lineup today. Bristol Carter in center field leads it off. He's followed by the catcher Chase Fralick batting second and second baseman Chris Rimbert hitting third. The left fielder Bub Terrell hits cleanup tonight. He's followed by Eric Guevara, the third baseman, batting fifth. Hitting sixth, the designated hitter Logan Gregorio. Batting seventh and starting in right field tonight, right-handed hitter Ethan Bingaman. Eddie Madrigal gets the call at first base. He bats eighth, and batting ninth, the shortstop Brandon McCrane. Again for the Tigers, it's Carter, Fralick, Rembert, Terrell, Guevara, Gregorio, Bingaman, Madrigal, and McCrane. Just about set for first pitch. Another picture-perfect night for Auburn baseball, and we will have it for you. Tigers and Wildcats open the series from Plainsman Park after one final pregame timeout. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Where were you when this happened?
Grounded on the right side. Jarvis over. He throws. It's a no-hitter. J.C. Mize with history tonight. He is mobbed by his teammates as Mize takes it through the order for the no-hitter. 6-0. Auburn wins.
Don't miss the next heart-pounding moment. This is your home for Auburn baseball, the Auburn Sports Network.
Yellowwood knows that a 5-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories. Like roasting marshmallows on a cool fall night. That's it. Turn it nice and slow. Get it toasted all... Oh, no, it's on fire. Oh, you want it on fire. Okay, that's a choice, I guess. Crunchy. For 5-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became the best-selling trucks in America. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. The best-selling trucks in America for 49 years and counting. Based on 1977 to 2025 calendar year industry reported total sales.
Looking for legendary wings, mouth-watering burgers, and unbeatable pizza for your next big event? Baumhauer's Catering is here to satisfy your cravings. From tailgates, birthdays, to office lunches and weddings, boost your event with delicious flavors of Baumhauer's Catering. We offer pickup or delivery, or choose our full-service catering that includes setup and staff. Don't have space for your big event? We can even host you in our dedicated party space. Baumhauer's Victory Grill Catering. Legendary flavors, zero hassle. War Eagle.
The Tigers have taken the field. Let's set that Auburn defense for you tonight. Bub Terrell is in left, Bristol Carter in center, Ethan Bingaman in right field. Along the infield, it's Eric Guevara at third, Brandon McCrane at short, Chris Rembert at second, Eddie Madrigal at first, Chase Fralick behind the plate doing the catching for Andreas Alvarez, 5'11", 199-pound sophomore right-hander from Seminole, Florida. He has been fantastic this year. 5-1, a 0.96 earned run average, 7 starts, 37 2/3 innings pitched, 27 hits allowed, 8 runs, only 4 of them earned. He has walked 12 and struck out 55. Opposition hitting .205 against Andreas Alvarez. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Auburn Sports Network. Alvarez has earned 5 straight wins since March 3rd. And when you go back to last year, his last 4 outings last year, along with his 7 starts this year, his earned run average is 0.67.
Is that good?
I would say that's extremely good. And Auburn is hoping he is extremely good tonight. He will face Tharnish, Campbell, and Bell for Kentucky. A couple of 6-6 teams looking for momentum as they close out the first half of the conference season. Let's turn it over to the voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham, to get you going on a gorgeous Friday night at the ballpark.
And our first pitch weather forecast brought to you by Jackson Services. When your comfort quits, Jackson Services shows up. Heating, air, and plumbing done right the first time. Family owned since 1973. Call Jackson Services today and feel the difference. Jackson Services, delivering comfort, creating trust. 76 degrees at game time. Partly cloudy skies overhead. Very little wind to speak of out of the east at 4 miles an hour. It will be Tharnish, Campbell, and Bell here in the first against Andreas Alvarez. Glad to have you with us on this beautiful Friday night for baseball. The umpires, Alex Ransom behind the plate, Jeff Wright at first, Damian Beal at second, and Michael Phillip is down at third. Right-hander Jace Tharnish steps into the batter's box, center fielder, batting .356. First pitch to him. He swings and lifts one down the right side, curving into the right field corner. Bingaman gives chase, but it goes out of play. Tharnish, .356 the average, 3 homers, 23 runs batted in, and a team-leading 24 stolen bases in 25 attempts. Auburn plays Tharnish to hit the opposite way, especially with the outfield right now. The wind and the 0-1. Misses outside, a ball and a strike. Kentucky 24-8 on the season, 6-6 in SEC play. 1-1 pitch. Chopper to the third baseman. Guevara to first for the out. It looked like he was fighting a little bit of the sun streaming through Plainsman Park, Brad.
Yeah, and the bounce, I think, benefited him there, too, because it was just one bounce, a quick bounce out in front of the plate, and Eric was able to field it chest high. And a good start. Alvarez getting underneath the bats.
And here's Scott Campbell Jr., the left fielder, batting .283, a couple homers, 20 runs batted in, 11 stolen bases. And Guevara plays up on the edge of the grass at third, the pitch. Again, first pitch swinging, and that was out of play off the right side. Just the start of things at Plainsman Park, the first of three between the Tigers and the Wildcats. Right-hander against right-hander, the 0-1. Fastball, strike at 96. Woo! 0-2 from...
Man. Starting with a breaking ball at 86. That looks more like 100.
Campbell out of Macon, Georgia, behind in the count 0-2, the pitch. Strike three called on the outside corner. Got him with the curveball away. First strikeout of the night for Alvarez and the Tigers. The K-Counter presented by Kia of Auburn, where you're always number one.
Getting that for a called third strike early could do a lot for Dre in this game, because now maybe to the next right-handed hitter you can throw it a little further off the plate, but he's got to swing at it. So we'll see how effective that pitch is to righties throughout the game.
Here's Tyler Bell, the shortstop, batting .340, 3 homers, 15 runs batted in. 2 outs, nobody on. First pitch. Did he go? He did not. Pitch was inside, a ball and no strikes. Kentucky without their leading hitter this weekend, Hudson Brown, batting .358 with 2 homers and 28 runs batted in. Swing on a foul back on a fastball up at 95, a ball and a strike. Brown left in Kentucky, not feeling well from what we understand.
They're also without Owen Jenkins, who was their third leading hitter.
A ball and a strike to Bell. Here's the wind in the pitch. Fastball, strike. That was 97.
Yep. Dre's feeling pretty good. He had that extra day of rest, pitching Thursday last week, Friday this week.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Got him with a fastball, and he couldn't do anything with it. Looked at it going by. Second strikeout for Dre.
Woo. And back-to-back 97-mile-an-hour fastballs. Everything worked in that first inning for Alvarez.
3 up and 3 down for Kentucky. Auburn comes to the plate in the first, and this is the Auburn Sports Network.
Here's a clip from a recent Talking Tigers podcast with Andy Burcham.
Dr. Michael Zabala.
Well, it was kind of funny because he called me and said, I have an injured player. Can you make him something to get him back on the field? And if I'm entirely honest, I didn't know exactly how we were going to do it. But I said, yes, we absolutely can. I didn't even know who the player was, but I did feel pretty confident we could make something for him. So Robbie and Kirk Nelson show up with who ultimately was Anthony Schwartz. Right. So we brought him in. Jake Larson, who's now our head of engineering at EXO, was a PhD student in my lab at the time. And he quite brilliantly figured out how to go from the scan of Anthony's hand to a 3D printed device that he was able to wear in his hand. And he started wearing it in practices, and then he wore it in games. And next thing we knew, he was scoring touchdowns while he was wearing it.
New episodes of the Talking Tigers podcast are released Mondays, wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe to the Talking Tigers podcast exclusively from the Auburn Sports Network.
Andres Alvarez made quick work of Kentucky in the top of the first. We'll see what the Tigers bats can do against Jackson Jelkin, Jelkin. He is originally from Omaha, Nebraska. Started out at Nebraska, went to Houston after junior college. He's been around a little bit, and he's landed in Lexington after an injury year, a redshirt year last year. The 6'5", 200-pound junior right-hander is having a terrific year this season. He's not taken a loss to this point this season, 6-0 in 8 starts, a 2.96 earned run average, 48 and 2/3 innings, 38 hits, 16 earned runs, just 10 walks, 54 strikeouts. He's hit 2, thrown 2 wild pitches, given up 4 doubles, 5 home runs. Team's batting .215 against Jackson Jelkin. Defensively, Scott Campbell in left, Jace Tharnish in center, Carson Hansen in right. Along the infield at third, it's Caden Cloud. Tyler Bell is at short, Ethan Hindle at second, Tyler Cerny at first, Tagger Tyson is the catcher. Carter, Freilich, and Rembert to get it going against Jackson Jelkin.
Jelkin was a 14th round pick of the Dodgers in 23, a 9th-round pick of the Mets in 24. And his first pitch is a foul ball, fouled off in front of the plate by Bristol Carter. Brad talked about his journey to Kentucky. Here's the one thing we know. This is the best he has thrown in college baseball this season.
4-seam fastball, 2-seamer, both have some movement.
No balls and a strike to Carter, batting .337, couple homers, 19 runs batted in. That one misses just off the inside corner. 1-1 the count to the Auburn center fielder. Fralick and Rembert to follow in the Auburn first.
Jelkin reminds me of old oil can Boyd, just tall and skinny.
Now the 1-1. Sweeps outside. 2 balls and a strike to Bristol Carter. Dad, a college baseball player at Nebraska Kearney. Perfect on this season with an ERA of 2.96, and he misses high, 3-1.
Carter struggling a little. Batting average in SEC play is under 150, but he's continuing to get on base.
3 balls and a strike to Bristol Carter. Wind and the pitch. Ball 4, low and away.
That's his team-leading 23rd walk drawn of the year. He's a big base stealer. He's only stolen 5 in SEC play, but let's see. Kentucky is a little thin behind the plate. Would Auburn try to test Tyson early?
Just the 11th walk of the season for Jelkin. And now here is Chase Fralick, the Auburn catcher. .328 the average, a team leading 6 homers and 26 runs batted in. Carter leading off the inning with a walk, 22 stolen bases in 23 attempts. Stretch and a throw over. Carter back, standing up.
Arkansas did this too at the positioning of their first baseman. He's not on the base. He's in front of the runner. It's back-to-back weekends we've seen that.
Stretch. Carter dancing over there. He gets back this time a little bit closer with the tag on down around the calf muscle.
Would love to see Auburn's approach be what we saw from Carter there. Take pitches, try to get a lot of pitches into Jelkin because he's gone 7, 8, and 7 innings in his last 3 starts.
Pitch to Fralick. Missed the outside corner. A ball and no strikes to the Auburn catcher. The stretch. And a throw over again. This time Carter dives back safely. Gets the all-blue uniform a little bit dirty. Blue tops and bottoms, white numerals and letters for the Tigers. Blue ball cap, the white AU across the front. Another throw, and it gets away. And Carter's going to get to second base. Throw was low and past the first baseman, Kearney.
Get on the bag.
And Carter, the disruptor, finally back to the bag at second base on the throwing error by the pitcher, Jelkin. So a runner at second base, nobody out. 1-0 the count to Fralick.
Teams are 17 for 20 trying to steal on Tyson this year.
Good lead for Carter down at second base. Stretch and the 1-0. Fralick had a good cut at that one, but fouled it back. A ball and a strike.
They are 3 for 3 against Jelkin.
A leadoff walk to Bristol Carter. Went to second on a throwing error by the pitcher, Jelkin, to try and pick him off. A ball and a strike to the Auburn catcher, Chase Fralick. We're in the bottom of the first. Jelkin stretches and pitches. Fralick lines it into left center field. That's down for a base hit. Around third base comes Carter. Here comes the throw home. It's cut off. 1-0 Auburn.
Level swing, contact right back up the middle. Send it back where it came, and the error. Auburn takes advantage of the Kentucky throwing error, and that's the disruptor. He causes you to focus on him. That a little lapse in concentration leads to a bad throw, leads to an extra base, leads directly to a run.
And he broke back to the second base bag and still scored on that play. 1-0 Auburn, and here's Rembert. Nobody out in the bottom of the first. Stretched by Jelkin. And the pitch inside and dusted him off the plate. Ball and no strikes to Rembert.
7 innings last week against Missouri, a season-high 8 hits allowed, 4 runs, 3 earned.
Frelick with his lead at first. Now the 1-0 pitch to Rembert from Jelkin. Here it is. Foul tip, and that got the catcher.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my. And this is a catching staff that is very, very thin.
Well, they don't have a player that is listed as a catcher to back up Tyson.
And Tyson went down, and I'm afraid that got him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And he is right now on his knees in front of the plate, and the athletic trainer is out to tend to the catcher, Taggart Tyson.
Yeah, TV showing a graphic now. Owen Jenkins, we mentioned, he's out. He has the most starts behind the plate for Kentucky this year. And then their third catcher, Alex Duffy, is out for the year with an injury. He'd only started one other game, but they will have to go to a different position player if for any reason Tyson can't go. I don't think this would be anything that knocks him out of the game. It just hurts like crazy.
Yeah, he's at least he's sitting up right now.
Yep.
Getting some hydration and taking his time.
And they're giving him plenty of time.
Yes, indeed. Tonight's game sponsor is the Houston Clinic of Auburn. From sports injuries to joint pain, let the specialists at Houston Clinic get you back in the game. Visit Houston.com to find a location near you. Now standing up, Tyson talking it over with Nick Mingione, the athletic trainer, the home plate umpire, Alex Ransom, his pitcher, looming in the background after that foul ball caught him. One nothing Auburn on top. A leadoff walk to Bristol. Carter went to second on a throwing error by Jalkin and then scored on the single up the middle by Frelick. His 27th run batted in. That leads the Auburn ball club. And then on a 1-0 pitch, Chris Rembert fouled it off and it caught the catcher. And
went from a low bridge to a low blow.
Yeah. A couple hops just to make sure everything's okay. And Tyson will stay in the ball game and take a couple throws from Jelkin.
Well, you wouldn't expect him to spike a slider or anything on this next pitch.
Ooh. Pat on the back by the home plate umpire, as if to say, yep, I've been there. And now back to action, a ball and a strike. Frantic with his lead at first. Jelkin comes set. Pitch. Sweeps the low and away. 2 balls and a strike.
Good patient approach by Auburn to start this game. You work 11 pitches before anybody's out, at least.
Here's the 2-1. Got him by the fastball there. Just blew it by him at 95, 2-2. Almost looked like he was looking for something other than the fastball. Rembert hitting .313, 3 homers, 23 runs batted in. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Auburn second baseman. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a foul tip for strike 3.
He went right back to the fastball. Just challenged him. And that's something Chris will take with him back to the dugout and remember his next time up. And it's something Jelkin will remember. Rembert's next time up as well, that he beat him with back-to-back fastballs.
55th strikeout of the season for Jelkin. 1 down in the inning. Now double play gets you out with any further damage. And here's Bub Terrell batting .297 with 6 homers, 19 runs batted in. Frelick with the lead at first, 1 down. Stretch in the pitch. Inside past the catcher. And Frelick will go to second base. Tyson got his glove on the ball, but that is all. It's a wild pitch. And for Jelkin, just his 3rd of the season.
Now a base hit might mean another run.
Frelick down there at second base. 1 ball and no strikes to Bub Terrell. Here comes the pitch. Ground ball to the second baseman. And it's underneath his glove into right field. Frelick will be held at third. That's an error on the second baseman, Hindle. His 4th of the season. He was playing back, Brad, on the grass. And I wonder if that last bounce may have hit the lip of the grass.
We get another look at replay. No, he just didn't get the glove all the way down. He looked up toward first, and he didn't get the glove all the way down, and it went underneath.
Frelick to third on the play, and the pitching coach, Dan Roselle, is out. And this may be a little bit of a pep talk for his infield, and primarily his pitcher.
Well, a lot of unforced issues for Kentucky so far.
Free bases.
Free bases, whether it's walks, errors, 2 errors in the inning, a wild pitch.
The inning started. Bristol Carter walked on a 3-1 pitch, went to second on a throwing error by Jelkin on an attempted pickoff. Frelick drove him home. Rembert struck out. Bub Terrell came to the plate on the first pitch. A wild pitch sends Frelick to second. And then Terrell hit one to the second baseman, Hindle, underneath his glove and into right. Second error of the inning for Kentucky. A team fielding 972 coming in. And Auburn has runners at the corners with 1 out. Here's Auburn's best hitter in SEC play, Eric Guevara. Throw to first and almost overthrew the first baseman there. Terrell has 2 stolen bases in 4 attempts. Frelick at third and Terrell at first and Guevara at the plate. Stretching the pitch. Out in front of the plate. Pitcher fields. He throws. He is safe. The bases are loaded. I don't know if the catcher couldn't get to that one or wanted to make sure he was still covering home in case Frelick broke down the line, but that was all the pitcher. A swinging bunt single for Guevara.
Yeah, Tyson looked like he was spinning his wheels a little bit to come out of the crouch and get up and move toward that ball. Credit Guevara for moving down that line.
And now the bases are loaded for Logan Gregorio. Auburn's DH batting .250, a homer, 7 runs batted in. Frelick at third, Terrell at second, Guevara at first. Open stands for Gregorio. The stretch by Jelkin, the pitch. Popped it up. Left side of the infield, foul ground now, and it is caught over there by Cloud. Boy, that's just what Auburn didn't need there. The runners stay put. Now the bases are loaded with 2 outs.
Yeah, you'd like to see Logan see a pitch or 2 from Jelkins in that situation. The pressure is all on Jelkins in that spot.
And here's Ethan Bingaman, the Auburn right fielder. Couple outs now. Bingaman hitting .286, 3 homers, 15 runs batted in. Home plate umpire would like some more baseballs after this pitch to Bingaman as Jelkin comes set. Long set at the belt. And the pitch out and away. Good job to lunge at that one by Tyson, who's been active here in the first inning.
Bingaman leads Auburn in SEC games in RBIs. He's driven in 9 runs in conference play.
Stretch in the pitch. Ball 2 low and away. And he had to lunge for that one even further. 2 balls and no strikes to Bingaman.
Yeah, they've come nowhere close to the inner half.
And a new baseball for the starter for Kentucky, Jackson Jelkin.
Yeah, he's switched out a handful of times here this inning.
2-0 the count to Bingaman. Stretch by Jelkin, the pitch. Just missed inside. That was a fastball at 95, and the count is 3-0.
Bingaman has walked 14 times this year.
3-0 the count to Bingaman, bases loaded. There's a strike, 3-1. 1-0 Auburn, trying to put up a crooked number here in the bottom of the first.
He beat Rembert, a right-handed hitter, with fastballs. Does he try to do the same to Bingaman?
Now the 3-1. Chopper foul past third. Count goes full, and the runners will be off with the pitch.
That was the 2-seamer.
Fastball, four-seamer, two-seamer, cutter, slider, and a curveball. What will he throw here on 3-2 to Bingaman with the bases loaded and 2 outs? Pitch. Just missed. Just missed. A bases loaded walk, and the Tigers lead 2-0. RBI number 16 for Bingaman.
I was waiting on Alex Ransom to ring him up there. That caught a lot of the plate, but then swept just off the edge right at the end.
Here's Eddie Madrigal, Auburn first baseman. Lefty against the right-hander Jelkin, who's at 23 pitches in this first inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The pitch. Outside, ball 1.
Again, all the pressure right now is on Jelkin. You got to make him throw maybe a couple of strikes.
Good speed out there for the Tigers right now in the base paths. Here's the 1-0. Ground ball to the right side. It's through for a base hit. 1 run is home. Here comes Guevara. The throw home is cut off. A 2-run single to right by Madrigal doubles Auburn's lead. The Tigers are on top 4-0.
Eddie's first RBIs as an Auburn Tiger.
Just past the diving Ethan Hindle. Bingaman went from first to third on the play. 4-0 Auburn on top. Those free bases are coming back to haunt Kentucky.
Yep.
And with runners at the corners, Auburn sends its 9th man to the plate. It's Brandon McCrane. 4-0 Auburn on top. Here's the stretch by Jelkin. And the pitch. Out in front, blocked by the catcher. Runners will try to score. They do. And now the runner down to second base. The ball hit in front. It deflected off the catcher up the first base line. And Bingaman scored. And Madrigal goes to second on a wild pitch, the second wild pitch of the inning. And it's 5-0 Auburn. My goodness.
And Jelkin, after he didn't get to the plate quick enough to cover it. So there's nobody there because the catcher Tyson had to go up the line to get the ball, and Jelkin was late coming to the plate. They really had no shot at getting Bingaman. And Ethan going first to third on Madrigal's base hit comes home to pay off there.
Well, when Kentucky tried to throw home to get Guevara, that allowed Bingaman to go from first to third without a throw there. Yep. And the Tigers taking full advantage of the free base runners, Brad, here in the first inning.
Well, and they're coming up with clutch hits, and they're just kind of doing a little bit of everything right offensively in this first inning.
Madrigal down at second base. 1 ball and no strikes to count to McCrane. Stretch in the pitch. Right down the middle, strike 1. 5-0 Auburn leads it. We're in the bottom of the first. Tigers have scored 5 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors, and a couple walks. The pitch. This low. Just gets away from the catcher, but not far enough for Madrigal to go to third on the play. 2 balls and a strike.
Tyson is struggling back there tonight with wild pitches, holding on to the ball. He's had an active first inning.
Ooh. 2 balls and a strike to McCrane. Stretch. Here comes the pitch. Ground ball up the middle. It's through for a base hit. Around third base comes Madrigal. Here comes the throw home. It's cut off, and the Tigers lead 6-0. McCrane to second base, and he's safe.
Man. Andy, Tigers are locked in tonight.
Now, Butch Thompson talked about it last night on Tiger Talk and reiterated today on his pregame show. It's time for the Auburn Tigers to figure it out. Tigers have scored 6 times in the first. They have batted around. And here's Bristol Carter for a second time.
Don't change the approach. Be patient.
Stretch. Here's a throw back to second base. And McCrane right on top of the second base bag. Auburn taking advantage of the extra base. Just taking advantage of everything that they've earned and been given in this inning. 6-0 Auburn. Here's the stretch in the pitch. Swing on a fly ball to center. Shallow center field. Center fielder is on. Tharnish makes the catch, and the inning comes to a close, but a fruitful inning for Auburn. 6 runs, 4 hits, 3 errors, and 1 man left. We're through 1. Auburn 6, Kentucky nothing. And Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
Alabama Power is here for you when big storms hit. But we're also here for the little things. We're there to get the coffee started, to make sure everyone's ready for school, for midday dance breaks, and evening entertainment. We're also there to help you save on all that energy with easy-to-use tips, tools, and efficiency programs. So enjoy these moments.
Kids, movie night.
And we'll do the rest. Visit alabamapower.com and follow us on social to learn more.
Are you ready for your winning moment? Find it at Wind Creek Casino, where the action never stops. Hottest games, loosest spins, more ways to win. We've got the highest payouts and the most epic rewards. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner. Wind Creek Casino. Find your winning moment. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Second inning. Right, the second inning. Auburn 6 and Kentucky nothing in the second inning, presented by Auburn Bank, champions of you. Andres Alvarez set down Kentucky 1-2-3 on 10 pitches in the first. Auburn sent 10 to the plate in the first and scored 6 runs on 4 hits, 3 errors, and a couple walks in the inning. And it will be Lawrence, Tyson, and Hanson, the 3, 4, and 5, or excuse me, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for UK here in the second inning.
About a 22, 23 minute wait in the dugout for Alvarez after that long bottom of the first.
Wind in the first pitch. They show bunt, strike called at 94 in the inside corner. Lawrence is hitting .345, 3 homers, 22 runs batted in. Double digits stolen bases. Left-handed hitter right on top of the plate. Wind in the 0-1. Inside, a ball and a strike the count. Kentucky has been hit by 87 pitches this season. 1-1. Inside, off-speed delivery, 2 balls and a strike.
Interesting that on the first 3 pitches of this sequence, they've all been middle in to the lefty.
2-1 the count to Lawrence. Alvarez, a long look in, now winds and fires. Lawrence fouled it off his foot, 2-2. Couple strikeouts in the first inning for Alvarez. 6-0 Auburn leads. We're in the top of the second. Wind in the 2-2 pitch. Fouled up and out of play, went to the fastball up, and Lawrence was able to go up enough and get enough of it to foul it out of play.
Can still throw anything in the bag here. You could go with the slow curve, try that back foot slider, or try another fastball.
Well, Lawrence is right on top of the plate. Has been hit 14 times this year. It's more than anybody else. Pitch to him. Drops inside. 3-2. Tried the back foot slider.
Yeah.
I don't think he had enough of the plate, however. Now the count is full.
And Lawrence standing right on it.
Yep.
Cuts it down more.
3-2 pitch. Chopper left side. Guevara charges, fields, and throws. Got him by a step. Guevara was playing well off the line, had to come to the line to get it, and then make the quick throw to first. 1 out.
And again, Alvarez got underneath the bat on a 3-2 pitch. Lawrence rolled over the top of it. Guevara positions himself so well when he fields the ball. His momentum is getting him ready to throw to first.
Here's Taggart Tyson, the catcher. Alvarez a long look in. Pitch clock down to 2 as he winds and fires. And it sweeps outside and low, 1-0 the count. Tyson batting .275. No homers and 9 runs batted in. Wind in the 1-0. Chopper left side. This will be a tough play. Guevara tried the bare hand stab and couldn't come up with it cleanly. And that likely will be an infield single for Tiger Tyson.
It is. Yep. Yeah, the only chance Eric had to make that play was to barehand it. And he just couldn't do it cleanly.
First base runner of the night for Kentucky. It's Tyson, the catcher, who, by the way, is 6 of 7 in stolen bases. He's at first. And here's Carson Hansen, the right fielder.
His only attempt in SEC play, he was thrown out.
Pitch on the way. Drops low. Hansen batting .238, a couple homers, 15 runs batted in. 6'2", 220, senior from Pewaukee, Wisconsin. Alvarez the stretch. Here's the 1-0. Drops inside, 2-0.
Back-to-back slow curves. These bottom 4 in the order for Kentucky are all hitting under 200 in SEC play. I know Dre's trying to get that curveball to land, but you might be able to go right at some of these guys with the fastball.
2-0 the count to Hansen. Pitch. Jammed him with a fastball, and he fouled it back. That was 94 on the hands.
Took something off, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't throw 97.
Right.
1 out, 1 on for Kentucky. We're in the top of the second. Tigers lead 6-0. Stretched by Alvarez, the 2-1. Popped it up, left side. Curving foul and out of play. Right to the inside of the Yeti yard, just inside the fencing there.
Could you fit any more people in the Yeti yard tonight?
I don't think so.
No.
I do see the smoke going up. There's some Conecuh sausages going on the grill tonight.
Yeah, I wonder what all's down there. You got any burgers, Conecuh?
Yeah.
Chicken?
Yes. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Hansen. Tyson gets his lead at first as Alvarez peers in. Now checks the runner at first. Dre comes set in the pitch. Ooh, missed just a little low. He had the plate, but missed it low, 2-2. Heck, make that 3-2.
Wow.
Tyler Cerny waits on deck.
Well, that was a good pitch.
Is Tyson off with this pitch? Auburn thinking about it. They
Yep.
throw over, and he's back diving in.
Hansen has struck out 19 times in 63 at-bats.
He awaits the 3-2. Foul tip into the glove of Fralick for the strikeout, the third of the night for Alvarez. K-Counter presented by Kia of Auburn, where you're always number 1, second out of the inning.
Hansen
Fastball, nothing fancy.
He struck out 20 times now.
Yeah. Just blistered a fastball. A little bit in. Really well placed on the inside corner. And here's Tyler Cerny, the first baseman. Batting .222, a homer, 9 runs batted in. Tyson gets his lead at first now with 2 outs. The pitch. Left it upstairs with a fastball at 95. A day's rest this week for Alvarez, who started last Thursday against Arkansas. Throw to first, runner back, no tag by Madrigal. 6-0, Tigers on top. We're in the top of the second. 1 on, 2 outs. Another throw over, closer, but safe. One ball and no strikes to Cerny. Here's the pitch. High fly ball into left. Terrell back at the warning track. Now in a step or two, makes the catch. And the inning comes to a close. No runs a hit, no errors. A man left for Kentucky. We move to the bottom of the second. Auburn leads 6-0. And this is the Auburn Sports Network.
At Affordable Comfort Cooling Systems and Plumbing, we believe our work is more than just AC and plumbing repairs. It's about serving people with integrity and care. As a Christian-owned company, we take Colossians 3:23 to heart. Whatever you do, work at it all with your heart, as working for the Lord, not for men. That's why at ACCS and Plumbing, we do the job right the first time and always stand behind our work. As a proud Ream dealer, we're committed to offering top-quality products and faith-driven values. Give us a call today or visit accsauburn.com to learn more. That's accsauburn.com.
Alabama license number 12084. Keeping your money in a traditional savings account is like using the Yellow Pages instead of Google. Outdated and slow. Skip the small, slow returns and put your money to work with the Max Elevate Money Market. You get all the same security of a savings account, plus the ability to earn even more on your money. Get started at mymax.com/elevate or call us at 260-2600. Certain restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Bottom half of the second, Auburn with a 6-0 lead off Jackson Jelkin. Auburn scored 6 runs on 4 hits. There were 3 errors in the inning and 2 walks, plus 2 wild pitches. And it will be Fralick, Rembert, and Terrell getting their second look at Jelkin, who threw 30 pitches in the first. Yellowwood scoreboard, bottom of the 6th at Georgia. Florida leads the Bulldogs 1-0 in Athens. No score, bottom of the 2nd, South Carolina at Missouri. Bottom of the 2nd, Alabama leads at home against Arkansas 1-0. Frelick, an RBI single, he scored in the first, and the first pitch from Jelkin gets the outside corner for strike 1. Bottom of the 1st, Oklahoma 5, Vanderbilt 1 in Nashville. 0-1, inside and low.
The shortest outing for Jelkin this year was 4 innings in his first start of the year. He's been 5 or more every other time out this season.
1 ball and 1 strike to Frelick. Pitch on the way. Just missed the outside corner and appealed to third. He did not go. Middle of the 2nd, Tennessee, Mississippi State scoreless in Starkville. Later tonight, LSU at Ole Miss and Texas at Texas A&M. Now the 2-1. Frelick pops it up. On the infield, center of the infield, shortstop. Bell underneath this one. Woo! That almost popped out of the glove, but he makes the catch for the first out of the inning. More scores for you across campus over at J.B. Moore Field. Alabama and Auburn scoreless, bottom of the 3rd in softball. Here's Chris Rembert. Strikeout in the first, and boy, that almost hit him in the head.
You know, it's the second first pitch that's been up and in to Chris.
1-0. One out, nobody on for Auburn. The 1-0 pitch. Rembert takes the strike off the outside corner. Came up and in with the first pitch, low and away with the next. Count is even. 3 homers, 23 runs batted in for Rembert. Fouled it back on the off-speed delivery.
I think he was ready for that breaking ball because he was blown away by fastballs last time. It's a chess match here. It was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball that got the swing and the miss last time.
1-2, got him with the slider that time. Swing and a miss. Rembert down on strikes for the 2nd time tonight. And Bub Terrell bats with 2 outs and nobody on.
Continues a frustrating time for Chris. His game Tuesday night. I think he was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts against Jacksonville State. We're just not used to seeing that from Rembert.
Terrell reached on an error by the second baseman and scored in the Auburn first. 2 outs and nobody on the pitch. Bub takes it just off the inside corner for ball 1. 6-0 Auburn on top. We're in the bottom of the 2nd. Jelkin the wind and the pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Second baseman underneath his glove and into center. And that'll be a base hit for Terrell. Makes a big turn at first, but back to the bag, and he's on with a single. Hindle had to go a long way, went to the backhand, but it got underneath his glove.
Yeah, he wasn't nearly as in position to make the play as he was on the one that Bub rolled to him last inning, where it rolled under his glove. He was playing in a different position than last time, too, with Terrell at the plate.
And here's Guevara. Singled and scored in the first. Stretched by Jelkin, and the pitch. Inside corner with a fastball. Make that the cutter at 88 for strike one. 2 outs, a runner at first. As Jelkin comes set. Here's the 0-1. Line drive, base hit to left by Guevara. Left that one up just a little bit. Auburn has runners at first and second with 2 down.
Yeah, like you said, 2-seam fastball up and on the inner half, and that is wheelhouse for Eric Guevara, who is just seeing the ball so well right now. Had to go up to get it a little bit, and that's what he did.
Auburn's best hitter in Southeastern Conference action is 2 for 2 tonight. Terrell to second on the play, and here's Logan Gregorio. Popped up on his first pitch. He came up with the bases loaded in the first. Terrell at second, Guevara at first. Pitch on the way. Missed outside. A ball and no strikes to the left-handed hitting Auburn DH. 6-0, Tigers on top. Trying to add to that lead with 2 on and 2 out here in the second inning. Stretched by Jelkin in the pitch. Missed down and in. Appeal again to third. He did not go. 2 balls and no strikes.
Good patient approach here by Gregorio. You mentioned he went after the first pitch last time. He wants to see a couple here.
Terrell gets his lead at second. Guevara from first. 2 down in the inning. Here's the 2-0. Popped up, back and out of play. 2-1. They play deep in right. Couple steps in center with Tharnish. And he plays Gregorio to pull just about a step or 2. Now the 2-1. Ball 3 inside. He's right now at 46 pitches here in the second inning. 3 balls and a strike to Gregorio. Tigers looking for some 2-out magic in the second inning. And Jelkin steps off.
He had thrown 8 pitches in the inning to get the first 2 outs. And then you get the back-to-back hits by Terrell and Guevara, and now Gregorio's gone to 3-1. You just work a few more. I mean, you're going to work 10-plus pitches extra.
Here's the 3-1. Ball 4 and a fastball low, and the bases are loaded. Tigers have the bases loaded for a second consecutive inning. 3rd walk of the ball game for Jelkin. He came in with 10 walks into tonight. He has 3 in the first inning and 2/3 tonight.
Auburn tonight 4 of 7 with runners in scoring position, 4 of 5 with 2 outs.
Here's Bingaman. Bases loaded walk in the first, the pitch. Fastball on the inside corner at 95. Bingaman 3 homers and 16 runs batted in. Jelkin, the wind in the pitch. Strike 2.
Good
Took
pitch.
Something off of that one. 0-2 the count.
That was almost like a straight 12-6 curveball.
Terrell at third, Guevara at second, and Gregorio at first. The 0-2 pitch, swing on a looper into right field. That's going to get down for a hit. Here comes Terrell. Here comes Guevara. And it's a 8-0 Auburn lead on the single to right by Bingaman. 3 runs batted in tonight for Ethan. A little blooper into right field.
Well, and I think Hansen was a little bit surprised that Guevara was trying to score. His throw was nowhere close. It was way up and to the side, up the first base line. So Bingaman continues to produce. That's now 18 RBIs on the year and 12 in SEC play. And every bit of this with 2 outs.
And nobody on. And here's Madrigal. First pitch, strike. Eddie with a 2-run single in the first. Excuse me, Brad.
Jelkin's done a better job getting ahead. He's throwing first pitch strikes this inning, but Auburn's locking in after that point.
0-1 pitch. Gregorio shoots one past the first base coach's box. Sonny DeShera didn't even move. 0-2 the count. Remember, he got to 0-2 on Bingaman.
Yep.
Who then flared one to right to score a couple runs. 8-0 Auburn on top. Pitch. Madrigal spoils a pretty good pitch and fouls it up and out of play off the left side. Wonderful evening for baseball from a weather perspective. And the Auburn folks are out en masse tonight. Their team leads 8-0 in the second inning. Jelkin steps off. He comes set. 0-2 pitch. Just low.
Really tough take.
Gregorio at second and Bingaman at first. 2 down in the inning. 2 runs home for Auburn. 1-2 pitch. Out in front, ball gets away. An appeal to third. They'll say he went around, and the inning is over. 2 more runs for Auburn on 3 base hits. No errors and 2 men left. We're through 2. Auburn 8, Kentucky nothing. And Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
You've created a comfortable home office. Now let Carrier provide the cash bonus. For a limited time, you can claim up to $1,550 in cool cash rebates on a qualified Carrier home comfort system. There's never been a better time to upgrade to year-round premium comfort and energy savings. Carrier, turn to the experts.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward. So listen close. You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down for your people. You are strong, you are fearless, you are the baddest on the block. You are an elbow grease factory, a force of nature. You are not to be reckoned with. You are a ride or die, a powerhouse of productivity. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager, so raise it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
This broadcast of Auburn baseball is brought to you in part by Cook's Pest Control. The best defense for your home is Cook's Pest Control, the South's most trusted name in pest control since 1928, and the official pest control partner of the Auburn Tigers.
Auburn 8, Kentucky nothing. Wildcats come to the plate in the top of the third. 8, 9, and 1 hitters to face Andreas Alvarez, who struck out 3 on the night, faced 1 over the minimum in the first 2 innings, thrown 27 pitches. Third inning tonight presented by the Vance Law Firm. At the Vance Law Firm, they say dial 3 for me, 334-333-3333. Along with Brad Law, I'm Andy Burcham, Quinn Burkeen in our Skyview Auburn studios. Ethan Hindle will lead it off, second baseman. Leads off the Kentucky third. Alvarez, the pitch, fastball at 94 down the middle for strike 1. Hindle batting .257, 6 homers, 31 runs batted in. Pitch on the way. Ground ball foul into the Auburn dugout. There's an opening about midway down the dugout, and it found it.
He found it. That was the curveball, and Hindle was very early after the first pitch fastball.
0-2 the count. Dre shakes off a sign. Now winds in the 0-2 pitch. Bounced it up there, off of Freilich. A ball and 2 strikes to Hindle. 6 home runs. And the 31 runs batted in is tops on the Kentucky Ball Club. 6'1", 200 pounds from Delafield, Wisconsin. That fastball misses low, 2-2.
Trying to get the swing and miss on 2 strikes. Hindle has struck out 18 times in conference play. That's the most in league-only games for Kentucky.
2-2 pitch. Missed just a little low. Count goes full.
A couple times now he's tried to get him to chase, and he hadn't done it.
2 straight innings, he's opened up with a full count. He got a ground out from Lawrence. What will he get here from Hindle? 3-2 pitch, here it is. Fastball just missed low. And Hindle's aboard with a leadoff walk.
Yep, Chase tried to bring it up. Didn't get the call.
Hindle, by the way, 11 stolen bases in 11 attempts. I don't know if they're in any mood to run, trailing by 8, but maybe.
2 for 2 in the league.
Here's Caden Cloud, the third baseman. Alvarez stretches, throw over, runner back. Cloud awaits the first pitch from Andres Alvarez. Here it is. He went around on the slider. No balls and a strike.
Kentucky has only hit into 14 double plays this year. Done it 8 times in the league.
0-1, nope, throw to first, runner back. Eight nothing Auburn on top, a runner at first, nobody out for Kentucky. We're in the top of the third. Now the 0-1 to Cloud. High, a ball and a strike.
Alvarez has 1 pickoff this year.
Cloud a homer and 7 runs batted in, awaits the 1-1. Here it is. Fastball. A little bit low, 2-1.
Yeah, this is a guy like Cerny. You want to throw him strikes, let him swing the bat. He's 0 for 11, 6 strikeouts against SEC arms.
Alvarez gets his sign. Comes set in the pitch. Popped it up. Left side, that'll get out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. 3 strikeouts and a walk thus far for Alvarez. Nobody out, a runner at first for Kentucky. 2-2 pitch. Chopper left side to Guevara. Goes to second for 1 to first. Not in time for the double play. And the fact that Guevara got the lead run at second is amazing.
Yes, it's a perfect word for it. Amazing is exactly right. He had to go back and wait and then jump to see that ball into the glove. And then come down and throw a rocket over to second base for the force.
Boy, it just looked like that was going to get over his head.
Yeah.
It did not. Got a good runner in Hindle at second base. 1 out. Now to the top of the order. Here's Jace Tharnish. Pitch. Fouled back to the screen. All right, second look now for UK. And Alvarez did 39 pitches.
Yep, sorry, Andy. He didn't lean on any one particular pitch that first time through, so there's not really a track you can try to like lock in on.
Pitch on the way. Ooh, just missed. A ball and a strike. A ball and a strike to Jace Tharnish. Grounded out to third in the first. Pitch on the way. Fastball just blew it by him at 95. 1-2. Came just inside. All right, do you come back? You elevate a fastball? Do you go away?
Might be tempted
something off speed?
Yeah, might be tempted to try the curve here.
The ball and 2 strikes to Tharnish. Stretching the pitch. Went away and he singles into left field for a base hit. Couple hops to Terrell. Tried something off speed and Tharnish went down and golfed it into left.
It was the 12-6 curveball, and may have been a little up for where he wanted it. So that's the first it's the first hit that's made it to the outfield tonight for Kentucky.
First and second and 1 out for UK, and here's Scott Campbell Jr. Left fielder, a strikeout victim in the first. Stretched by Dre in the pitch. Curveball on the strike. Cloud at second and Tharnish at first for UK. Tigers lead 8-0. The pitch. Fastball, strike 2.
Oh. From 78 to 94.
0-2 the count to Campbell. 2 on, 1 out for Kentucky in the top of the third as Alvarez comes set. Comes the pitch. Chopper foul at the plate. Tried to get a fastball in, and Campbell got a piece of it. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. They're packed in the back 40, K corner, Yeti yard, all around the ballpark up on the War Eagle wall. 3 rows deep up on the parking deck. Here's the 0-2. Ground ball to Guevara. To the bag. Dives and gets him at third base. He thought about going third to first for a double play, but Cloud runs well, and Guevara looked like he slipped just a little bit and had to dive with his glove to the bag to get the force. 2 outs.
You called it exactly right. That's a perfect description of what happened. You thought you might get 2 originally, but then he realized he needed just to dive to beat Cloud to the bag, and Guevara, really good job. 2 balls down to third base, very different kinds. One's he had to smother, one he had to jump to get, but he gets the lead runner both times.
There's Tyler Bell with 2 outs. First pitch, curveball, strike 1. Two on, 2 out for Kentucky in the third. Tigers lead 8-0. Stretch in the 0-1. Strike 2. Same pitch. Curveball, strike 1, strike 2.
Fastball under the hands or up and away.
Alvarez comes set. 2 down in the inning. The pitch. Up right through the legs of Frelick. Run is going to go to third, and he's going to be safe. The throw to third was a little bit high. And we'll wait for that call. That could be a pass ball. It was a curveball that got between the 5-hole of the Auburn catcher, who had a chance to throw out Tharnish at third base. But the throw there was high, and now runners at second and third with 2 outs. A ball and 2 strikes to Bell. Base hit here, likely plates a couple. 1-2 pitch. High with a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bell. It is a wild pitch. Andreas now works off the wind with runners at second and third. The wind and delivery. Oh, just missed the outside corner. Count goes full. Three balls and 2 strikes to count to Bell. Wind and delivery. Fastball high, he lost it. Had him set up 0-2.
Yep.
Second walk charge to Alvarez. And now Luke Lawrence to the plate with 2 outs and the bases loaded for Kentucky. Let me remind you, if you want to play golf and support Auburn student athletes, War Eagle Plus is hosting the War Eagle Plus Golf Classic on April 20th at the AU Club. Spots are limited. Sign up today at auburntigers.com/War Eagle Plus Golf. As we pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Auburn Sports Network. Andreas Alvarez is at 52 pitches. Everett Tiefer, the Auburn pitching coach, brings the entire infield to the mound for a visit. He's back to the dugout. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Kentucky. Well, Auburn in the last inning scored a couple runs after loading the bases with 2 outs. Tigers trying to prevent that here with UK at the plate in the top of the third. Wind, pitch. Drops low. Lawrence grounded out to Guevara at third to open the second inning. Boy, he's right on top of the plate from the left side. 1-0 delivery. Ball 2 outside.
Yep. After a mound visit, Dre has fallen behind. That'll get L.J. Cormier jogging down to the Auburn bullpen. Lawrence is hitting .400 with the bases loaded.
Wind to the 2-0. Strike call and a fastball up in the zone, 2-1. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Kentucky. 2 balls and a strike to count to Lawrence. Wind end delivery. Fouled back. Fastball at 95.
Yeah. Back-to-back fastballs that have brought the count back to even. Jet Johnston also jogs down to the bullpen for Auburn.
Crowd gets into it as Alvarez tries to get out of trouble with the bases loaded and 2 outs here in the third. He winds and fires. Missed upstairs, off speed. Count goes full. Runners will be off.
Curveball slipped on him. Lawrence saw 6 pitches in his first at bat against him, and now 5 more here.
Got to be careful with this guy. He's batting .400 with the bases loaded this season. Runners are off. Here comes the pitch. Fouled at the plate to the backstop.
Boy, Campbell was already at third when the pitch was thrown.
Yeah, Thornish is a little more conservative coming down the third base line. But Campbell was right on his heels. Another 3-2 pitch to Lawrence. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Here it is. Fouled out of play, fastball at 95.
Well, it's a cleanup hitter against the Friday night starter. I mean, it's power on power here. It's a good battle.
He's had to go to the fastball a little bit more in this inning. The off-speed stuff just hasn't been there yet.
Yeah, last time he tried to throw the curve, it slipped on him, too.
Now another 3-2 pitch. On the way. Fouled up the left side and into the Yeti yard. Look out.
Fastball after fastball after fastball.
If he could drop in an off-speed pitch.
Yep. Yeah, the slider, the back foot slider could be lethal right now if he trusts it.
Another 3-2 pitch with the bases loaded, 2 outs to Luke Lawrence. Here it is. Ground ball through for a base hit, and 2 runs are going to score. They're going to try to score another. Here comes the throw home, and the runner is out. With the runners going, they tried to score Bell from first. And Auburn threw him out at the plate. 2-run score on the inning. And a man left on base. A couple hits as well. We go to the bottom of the third. Auburn 8, Kentucky 2. And this is the Auburn Sports Network.
Alabama Power is here for you when big storms hit. But we're also here for the little things. We're there to get the coffee started. To make sure everyone's ready for school. For midday dance breaks and evening entertainment. We're also there to help you save on all that energy with easy-to-use tips, tools, and efficiency programs. So enjoy these moments.
Kids, movie night.
And we'll do the rest. Visit alabamapower.com and follow us on social to learn more.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
As we move to the bottom of the third inning, Auburn has knocked out the Kentucky starter after the first 2 innings of this ballgame. Jackson Jelkin goes a season-low 2 innings, gives up 7 hits, 8 runs. Only 3 of them were earned, but he is out of the ballgame. And Tommy Skelding is in. Skelding, a right-hander, who on the year is 2-0 in 7 relief appearances. 2-0 with a .527 earned run average, 13 2/3 innings, 13 hits, 10 runs, 8 earned, 9 walks, 6 strikeouts. He's hit 3 batters, thrown a wild pitch, given up 3 doubles and a home run, and teams are hitting .241 against Tommy Skelding. In SEC play, Skelding 1 outing. He's 1-0, earned run average of 6. He's given up 2 runs on 3 hits in 3 innings, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Teams are 3 for 12 against Skelding with a double and a home run included. Skelding 6'3", 200 out of Atwater, Ohio. He is a sophomore right-hander. Skelding in, and he will face the 9-1 and 2 hitters for Auburn in the bottom of the third.
Numbers on Jackson Jelkin, 2 innings of work. Gave up 8 runs, but only 3 of those earned on 7 hits. First pitch, Skelding misses inside to the number 9 hitter for Auburn, Brandon McCrane. Jelkin, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, 2 wild pitches. 1-0 pitch to McCrane. Down and away and off the catcher's glove to the backstop. 2-0 the count. Eight to 2, Auburn on top. Here's the wind in the 2-0 pitch. McCrane takes a slider for a strike. 2-1 the count. Brandon with a single up the middle in the first, scored a run. Went to second base on a throwing error by the center fielder Tharnish. 2-1 pitch. Strike 2. 88. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count to McCrane, followed by Carter and Freilich in the Auburn third. Tigers lead at 8-2. Here's the wind in the 2-2 pitch. Line drive into right center field. That's trouble. That's going to split the gap. And McCrane around first base as the ball gets to the wall. He's around second base. He's on his way to third. Here's the throw. He's saved, diving in. Never stopped running hard. He split the gap in right center field. The ball got past the right fielder to the warning track, and McCrane to third on the play. So a runner at third and nobody out for Auburn. It's a double and an error in the outfield, the 4th error of the night for Kentucky. They bring the infield in, and the pitch is a strike to Carter.
Auburn's made him pay for the other 3 errors.
Infield in, 0-1 the count to Bristol. The stretch and the pitch. Ground ball foul past third, almost took out McCrane in foul ground. Quickly 0-2. So a double for McCrane. That is his 6th of the year.
All that room on the right side of the infield.
The shift and the infield in. 0-2 to Bristol, the pitch. Popped it up on the infield. Shortstop or second baseman underneath this one makes the catch. 1 out. Well, that's not what Auburn wanted there.
Nope. It's about 4 outs tonight where Auburn was just a little too eager and had a very shallow pop-up. Now you love having this guy at the plate in this situation. Runner at third, less than 2 outs. They'll keep the infield in.
And this is Freilich. 1 for 2 on the night. Stretch in the pitch. Bounces up there past the catcher. Here comes McCrane. He scores without a throw. A wild pitch charge to Skelding. And the Tigers go on top 9-2.
Well, the at-bat by McCrane to split the gap, be aggressive, never stop running, head for third. They pay that off. They just, to answer the 2 runs in the top of the inning, already 1 is home. They're on the attack.
1-0. Freilich is hit. Oh, and Chase looking out there at the pitcher for a second.
Yep.
Home plate umpire gets in between Freilich and the pitcher, and Chase will head down to first.
Kentucky is a team that does not back away from talking. Is that a diplomatic way to say that?
Yes.
Okay.
So Freilich aboard, hit by a pitch, and that brings Chris Rembert to the plate. 0 for 2 with a couple strikeouts. And the first base umpire calling time. Everybody, all the umpires calling time. I think there was, well, the baseball, the ball that hit Freilich had rolled over beyond the Kentucky on deck circle.
We're used to seeing umpires stop play when these two teams get together.
Stretch. Pitch to Rembert. Down and away. Pitch to the feet of the catcher. Had trouble finding it for a second, but he does, and the count is 1-0 to Rembert. 0 for 2 tonight with a couple strikeouts. 9-2 Auburn. We're in the bottom of the third. Stretch. Here's the 1-0. Rembert lines it past the third baseman. That'll get down into the corner. Freilich around second base on his way to third. Rembert into second base with a double. 8th double of the year, and Rembert tattooed that one past Cloud at third base.
A frozen rope. Cloud didn't get the glove up in time. A textbook double into the left field corner.
Couple doubles in the inning for Auburn, and that brings Bub Terrell to the plate. Bub's been on base twice tonight. He's scored both times. He's 1 for 2. And Kentucky, for the second time in the inning, will bring the infield in.
As hard as Bub hits the ball, you're taking a chance bringing that infield in.
Stretch by Skelding. Here's the pitch. Low and away with the fastball, 1-0.
And if you're Hindle, you're really on your toes here because he's hit it to the second baseman both times.
Tigers lead 9-2, second and third, one out, bottom of the third. 1-0 the count to Bub. Line drive into right center field, long run. Center fielder Tharnish gets there, makes the catch. Freilich tags, he will score. Rembert on his way to third, and the Tigers get those 2 runs from the top of this inning back, and it's now 10-2 Tigers. RBI for Bub, his 20th of the season.
Really good job by Tharnish to get there. I thought that might get down. But he got a great jump on the ball, came over to get it. Good alert base running by both Freilich and Rembert to advance.
Auburn's done a nice job of taking advantage of free bases tonight. Remember, Freilich was on base with the hit batter. Now runner at third, 2 outs, and here's Guevara, who's 2 for 2 on the night. High and inside, off-speed pitch. 1-0 the count. 2 runs in the top of the third for Kentucky. Cut the lead to 8-2. Tigers get those 2 runs back. Go back up by 8, 10-2 the Tigers, and a runner at third with 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Now the 1-0. Missed the outside corner. Tyson tried to frame it. 2 balls and no strikes. They can be careful if they want right now with Rembert.
Yeah, no, Guevara, and he's been swinging early in counts too, so maybe they know that. They've tried to get him to chase.
2-0. Guevara takes ball 3 low.
Yeah, he may not get anything good here, to your point.
Rembert at third, Guevara at the plate, 2 home for Auburn. In the bottom of the third, Tigers lead 10-2. Stretch. 3-0 pitch to Eric. Down the middle for a strike. Had the take sign.
Now, they didn't turn him loose 3-0 there, but he's looking for something specific here on 3-1.
Stretch in the pitch. It misses low. A walk for Guevara. He's been on base all 3 times tonight. Well, he just continues his hot hitting in SEC play. And here's Logan Gregorio.
Guevara's on base percentage in the league was .457 coming into tonight, and he's been on base all 3 times tonight.
Gregorio fouled out in the first, reached on a walk in the second. He comes to the plate with runners at first and third and 2 outs here in the third inning. Stretch in the pitch. Missed inside. 1-0 the count. The starter, Jelkin, lasted 2 innings, a season low tonight. Tommy Skelding on now for Kentucky. The pitch, Gregorio fouls it off his foot. 1 ball and 1 strike. Auburn women's tennis, a winner tonight over Missouri 4-love over at the Yarborough Tennis Center. The Tigers can win a share of the SEC championship on Sunday. A ball and a strike, the pitch. Strike call on the inside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Really good slider.
That women's tennis team will host Vanderbilt at noon Sunday at the Auburn Tennis Center. They can win a share of the SEC championship with a win against Vanderbilt. 1-2 pitch. Gregorio to the right side, second baseman Hindle. Fields and throws to first in time for the out, and the inning comes to a close. Auburn scores 2 runs in the inning and a couple doubles. No errors and 2 men left. We're through 3. Game 1 of Auburn and Kentucky. Tigers lead it 10-2, and Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Thinking about starting weight loss treatment? GoodRx is here to help. We offer FDA-approved GLP-1 medications prescribed by licensed providers, including the Wegovy tablet, with straightforward pricing and pickup at your local pharmacy or delivery to your door. All from America's #1 prescription app. Go to GoodRx.com/weight loss to get started. GoodRx is not insurance. Cancel anytime. #1 prescription app ranked by a third-party study.
We go to the 4th. Auburn 10 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Kentucky 2 runs, 3 hits, and 4 errors. We talked about Auburn women's tennis with a chance to win a share of the SEC crown on Sunday. How about men's tennis on the road tonight at Ole Miss, coming back from 2-love to win at Ole Miss, the 25th ranked team in the country, number 19 Auburn 4 and Ole Miss 3. Big win for Bobby Reynolds and Jordan Szabo's teams. All right, we go to the top of the 4th. To take you through the middle 3 innings, the one and only Bradford T. Law.
So how many tennis teams won for Auburn today? Deuce. That's how many.
I get it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Tyson to get it started. He singled in the second. It was Kentucky's first hit, an infield single. Topped it off the end of the bat. Guevara couldn't make a barehanded play, and he goes after the first pitch, a breaking ball, and it's fouled back. Nothing in 1 to Tyson.
If there is a concern right now with Alvarez, that was his 62nd pitch here in the 4th inning.
Yep. Last week, series opener against Arkansas, he went 6 innings. Tonight we're starting inning number 4. Here's a breaking ball on the outside corner, 0-2. He's going to need some quick ones to get through 6 again this week. He's gone 0-2 here to Tyson. Tagger Tyson, the catcher. Here's the pitch. Fastball missed inside. A ball and 2 strikes.
Kentucky says he was hit. I don't think Tyson agrees.
Nope. And Alex Ransom's not talking to anybody else about it, so here we go. The 1-2 from Alvarez on the way. Fouled straight back. Fastball still has good life. He's been in the mid-90s all night. First inning, Alvarez hit 97 on back-to-back fastballs. It's 10-2 Auburn. Tigers have scored in every inning so far, and we're in the top of the 4th. Sophomore right-hander looks home, goes into the wind, and delivers. Bouncing ball to short. McCrane has it on 2 hops, chest high. His toss across in time to Madrigal for the first out. 1 down in the 4th. And Carson Hansen is the hitter. He struck out in the second.
And that was the last strikeout for Alvarez.
Yep. I thought it was interesting, something Butch Thompson said to you in the pregame interview, because of the schedule this week and next week, because you go back to Thursday, Friday, Saturday. First pitch to Hansen, swung on, maybe got a piece of it, fouled it away, nothing in 1. Whereas Jackson Sanders was so effective Sunday of last week. Might you see him tonight?
Perhaps.
Instead of Johnston or Cormier. 0-1 breaking ball, hit it slowly towards second on a couple of hops Rembert fields and gets rid of it quickly to first for the out. 2 ground ball outs to start the inning. And you wouldn't need him to go 6, so it's a shorter outing, and then he's available on the weekend if you need him to go Saturday in the finale against Florida, or maybe even Friday again in the second game of that series. So, yeah, interesting strategy as we get into this one. Cerny, the first baseman, takes the ball high, 1-0.
Over at Jane B. Moore Field, there in the bottom of the fifth, Auburn and Alabama. Crimson Tide 1. Auburn nothing. Tigers with a runner at first and 2 down.
1-0 pitch to Cerny. There it is, in there for a strike. Breaking ball, 1-1. Cerny started against Louisville Tuesday night. It was his first start of the year at first base.
Started a couple times, we understand, in the Cape Cod League last summer as well.
1-1, hit high to center. Carter couldn't find it at first. Now drifts back. He's got a beat on it, and he backpedals and makes the catch. And that's a pretty quick inning, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Alvarez and the Tigers. 1-2-3. Go the Wildcats in the fourth. It's 10-2 Auburn through 3.5. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Download the Auburn Athletics app, powered by War Eagle Mobile. Buy tickets, be a part of game day giveaways, shop the latest Auburn gear, and manage your War Eagle Plus subscription. And listen to every broadcast from the Auburn Sports Network, even when multiple games are happening simultaneously, on the official mobile app of Auburn Athletics. Download it now.
There's team pride, and then there's extra Tiger pride. When I'm carrying the Auburn University Regents Visa debit card or prepaid Regents Now card, that's exactly what I get. Whether I'm grabbing some extra Auburn gear or picking up an extra dozen wings for the game, this card always brings it. Sometimes I get an extra War Eagle from the cashier too. Visit Regions.com/Go Tigers to get yours.
Extra changes everything. And at Regions, Extra is our ordinary. Official bank of the SEC, member FDIC.
Back at Plainsman Park, it's Auburn 10, Kentucky 2. And Auburn comes to bat in the bottom of the fourth. It will be Bingaman, Madrigal, and McCrane. 10 runs on 9 hits for Auburn. They have taken advantage of 4 errors for Kentucky.
The catcher, Taggart Tyson, has come over to the dugout. They're looking, I think, at his left. I thought for a minute they were looking at his glove, but I think they're looking at his left hand, his catching hand. He has spent some time tonight with the athletic trainer. There when he's hitting the first inning.
Nick Mingione can't go help with the conversation. He's doing a TV interview.
There, it looks like they're taping up, the left hand and his thumb on that catching hand. Man.
Yeah, that he's it. He's their last catcher. They have 3 catchers. A couple of them are out with injuries. So they would have to go to a different position player behind the plate if he can't go. That's a rough spot to be in game one, anytime, but especially game 1 of a series.
He was hit below the belt in the first, and it took him a while to recover from that. And now they've wrapped up his left hand, wrist, and that left thumb. Now think about the wear and tear that takes just catching.
Yeah.
Just catching tonight.
If you've never caught, maybe you don't understand, but that if that's your receiving hand, that takes a beating. All right, ready to go. Ethan Bingaman to start it in the fourth for Auburn. First pitch, fastball. Little up, little in. 1 ball, no strikes. Bingaman's been on twice. He's walked and scored. He has driven in 3 runs. He's singled. So a good start for the freshman. Righty-righty matchup. The delivery from Skelding is downstairs. It's 2-0.
He's at 25 pitches. Skelding.
And Skelding has he's got some longer outings earlier this year. He went 3 innings once, 4 innings twice, 4 innings once. 2 innings he's done a couple times. And that pitch is off the mitt for ball 3, and Tyson is favoring.
Yeah.
He was favoring that left wrist even as the ball glanced off the mitt. He's struggling. The 3-0 to Bingaman. Inside, ball 4. It's a 4-pitch walk to start the 4th inning. Second walk taken by Bingaman.
It's the 5th walk of the night by Kentucky pitching.
And it brings Eddie Madrigal to the plate. Madrigal drove in his first 2 Auburn runs in the first inning with a single. He is 1 for 2, a single, a run scored. Listen to all things SEC, including live games in SEC this morning on Sirius XM SEC Radio. That's channel 374, plus streaming on the Sirius XM app. And the pitch misses low to Madrigal. And Skelding has missed with 5 straight to start the inning. And now time is called. And the Kentucky pitching coach will go out for a word with his reliever. All that work, the 6 runs in the first inning, and then adding a couple of runs in the second after 2 quick outs. And they boosted the pitch count. They were seeing the starter Jelkin very well. I mean, he had gone 7, 8, and 7 innings in the 3 SEC starts before tonight. Then you bring in Skelding, who got the win in their series against Alabama, a series Kentucky swept to start conference play. And Auburn's just dialed it. They're not swinging and missing. Very patient approach.
There is action in the Kentucky pen.
Yeah. Well, I started that thought to say all that good work early doesn't just help you in tonight's ball game, but it's chipping away at what they have for the series. Here's Madrigal. Righty-lefty. Madrigal takes it way outside. It's 2-0. Skelding hasn't been all that close this inning. Brandon McCrane waits to hit next. Bingaman at first, nobody out in the 4th pitch. Madrigal takes that. Called a strike, 2-1.
Generous strike call there.
Yeah, it really was. Gave him a break. Gave a struggling pitcher a break.
Well, they're playing very shallow in center.
2-1. Swing and a fly ball left center field. Over the head of Campbell. It's off his glove. Tried to make an over-the-shoulder catch, and he couldn't do it. Bingaman heads to third. He will be held up there. It's a double for Eddie Madrigal. That ball was crushed into the canyon. And a great attempt by Campbell, a running over-the-shoulder attempt, but it was off of his glove.
Well, he overran it.
Yeah.
He overran the ball, had to reach back to try and catch it. Couldn't quite do so for Madrigal.
Right off the heel.
That is his 2nd career double.
Yeah, his first came in his first at bat. Bingaman obviously had to make sure the ball wasn't caught, so he's at third, and that'll do it. Nick Mingione's finished with his TV interview, and he's out to get his pitcher. So Skelding will come out, and Kentucky will be on its 3rd pitcher of the game with nobody out in the 4th inning. That double, Auburn's 10th hit of the night. And Kentucky makes another Pepper Tree pitching change for a new level of taste. Tiger fans know it's got to be Pepper Tree. For the best wine selection and the finest cuts of meat, visit Pepper Tree in Auburn or Montgomery, and online, stakeswine.com. That's stakesandwine.com. Pepper Tree pitching change for Kentucky.
Strike out ants, termites, and other pests with a call to Cook's Pest Control. Cook's proven pest control methods and superior termite control system keep your home safe and are backed by a 110% satisfaction guarantee. As the weather gets warmer, your spring cleaning isn't done until you call the official pest control partner of the Auburn Tigers, Cook's Pest Control.
Pepper Tree pitching change for Kentucky. Number 16, Ira Austin, the 4th. Senior right-hander, 6'2", 170 pounds from Metairie, Louisiana, a transfer from the University of New Orleans. No record on the year, an ERA of 6.14. This will be his 12th relief appearance. 7 in the 3rd innings, 5 runs on 7 hits, 9 strikeouts, 4 walks, no homers. He has given up 3 doubles. Opponents are hitting .250 against Austin. 6 relief appearances in the SEC. He's been really good in the league. 3 innings, no runs on 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, a walk. No record, but no ERA. And opponents hitting .273 against Ira Austin the 4th. For Skelding, an inning plus, 2 runs, both earned on 3 hits, 2 walks, a wild pitch, a hit batter. He threw 31 pitches, only 14 for strikes. And he leaves runners at 2nd and 3rd with nobody out for Auburn in the bottom of the 4th, and the Tigers leading Kentucky 10-2.
Pitched back-to-back days against Alabama, back-to-back days against LSU. He pitched Tuesday against Louisville, 2/3 of an inning against the Cardinals, gave up a hit. gave up a walk and threw a wild pitch.
That hit was just one of the only 2 given up by Kentucky against Louisville on Tuesday.
Yep. So a senior right-hander in, and Brandon McCrane, who already has 2 hits. His last 2 SEC games, he's got 5 hits. The finale against Arkansas was a 3-hit game for Brandon McCrane. The redshirt freshman shortstop with the infield in. At 10-2, they bring the infield in. Nobody out. Pitch to McCrane. Strike 1.
Drops down a little bit, doesn't he?
Yep. Got a sidearm delivery.
Tougher against the right-hand hitters.
With the infield in, Brandon doesn't have to clobber one. He could just lift one over the pitch. Swing and a tapper foul off to the left. Nothing in too quickly.
Nice pitch down and in to McCrane, who looks to the Auburn dugout.
That's the challenge with this sidearm delivery. It never really gets up. Always stays, belt or below, right out of the hand. Runners at second and third. Bingaman at third, Madrigal at second. Nobody out, 4th inning. And the 0-2 pitch to McCrane. Here it is. Whew, just missed. Maybe a little out.
That's a really good take, though.
Yeah.
Because it looks good coming in.
Yeah, it's only not a strike at the tail end when it matters most. Now the 1-2 to McCrane. Swing and a miss.
Came in with a fastball over the top at 93.
And over the top is the key there. He changed his delivery. And he got the strikeout. So there's 1 down. Now back to the top of the order. Bristol Carter comes to the plate for the 4th time. And we're in the 4th inning. Carter has popped up a couple of times. He's also walked and scored. Infield stays in. Pitch number 1 to Carter. Called strike at the knees, 0-1.
Got to look at it. I wouldn't be surprised if this next pitch is even further out.
Yeah. 0-1. Hit him.
Oh, dear goodness. That hit him hard, too.
Yep.
I'm not sure exactly where it hit him, but we can hear it up here. And Bristol looks out at the pitcher as he walks to first.
Second batter hit by Kentucky pitching tonight. Second different pitcher to hit an Auburn hitter.
Got him on the elbow, and he has one of those elbow pads on. I was afraid that it got him up around the wrist. Good to see that it got on some padding there.
Bases loaded for Chase Freilich. The lefty hits against the righty. And time called, and it'll be somebody else coming to face Chase Freilich. Nick Mingione is out. Usually he brings the hook. And so we'll wait on the official word.
Boy, whoever this is hasn't had a lot of time to warm up either.
No. We'll see if they make the change. Yeah, they will. It'll be a lefty coming in to face Chase Freilich. Auburn leads 10-2. Game 1 of the series, 4th inning. 1 out, bases loaded. It is another Pepper Tree pitching change for Kentucky.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Left-hander number 7, Toby Peterson, is on for Kentucky, 6'2", 195, a freshman from Palatine, Illinois.
Is this his first action of the year?
I can't find his numbers anywhere.
Yeah.
So let me look at the roster for UK and get the high school numbers on number 7, Toby Peterson. Number 61 left-hander nationally, number 23 player in the state of Illinois by perfect game. Played at Palatine High School, an all-conference performer, also played basketball. That's it. That's all we've got on Toby Peterson.
He likes to fish.
Well, there's plenty of fishing around here, let me tell you. I know where they're staying. There's a good lake right there.
How about that? So Does this tell you a little bit about Nick Mingione and his thought about where this game is and how early it is in the weekend? That they're not going to a different bullpen piece. Now, there isn't any info on Peterson. He has not pitched this year. A really high IQ hitter, though, in Chase Fralick at the plate for Auburn.
And it is a lefty-lefty matchup right now, and that may be
that's why
as important as anything right now.
Yep.
Because Kentucky's trying to keep this game manageable at this point and not go so deep into their bullpen in game number 1.
Right. Jackson Susi is a lefty. Leighton Harris, Will Coleman, Ben Cleaver. They're not going to those guys in this situation. So here's Peterson, and here's Fralick with the bases loaded. Bingaman is at third. Madrigal is at second. Carter is at first. Walk, double, strikeout, hit by pitch. Pitch. Fralick takes it outside, ball 1.
Infield back looking for 2 now.
A double play would get him out of the inning. Auburn has scored in each of the first 3 innings. We're now in the bottom of the 4th. From the stretch, Peterson deals and gets a strike call. 1-1.
Swept across the inside corner. Good pitch from Peterson.
Fralick loads. 1-1 pitch. Low. Bounced away. Bounced off of Tyson and then off of Fralick's foot, so the ball didn't squirt away. Runners hold.
This is like almost an opening weekend at bat for Chase Fralick. There's nothing on this guy.
Yeah, literally the first appearance of the year for a true freshman. What a spot for him to be dumped into as well. 2-1 pitch. Strike 2, outside corner. Crowd could be laying into him right now. They're kind of waiting on more good to happen. There's been plenty of good tonight. Auburn leads 10-2. Bases loaded, 1 out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch from Peterson. Little tapper, left side. Peterson fields, comes home for the force. Well fielded by the true freshman. Then he came home for the force. 2 away. Bases still loaded for Chris Rembert. And let's see if Mingione will go to another right-hander, perhaps, or if they let the freshman face Rembert, who tattooed a double his last time. Down to second goes Carter, over to third, Madrigal.
Peterson didn't try to do too much with that one. He got the runner at home. That's what mattered.
Yep. And here is the Kentucky head coach. He'll make a call. They'll make a move. They'll go to a right-hander to face Rembert. They're just playing the matchups here, and that's the reason why they brought in Peterson to get the lefty, and he did his job. Didn't allow that run to score. So another Pepper Tree pitching change for Kentucky. Our sponsors getting their money's worth here in the fourth inning of this game. Well, I see a 10 on the board. I think touchdown field goal. I'm sorry. 10-2, Tigers on top. It's another Pepper Tree pitching change for the Wildcats.
Strike out ants, termites, and other pests with a call to Cook's Pest Control. Cook's proven pest control methods and superior termite control system keep your home safe and are backed by a 110% satisfaction guarantee. As the weather gets warmer, your spring cleaning isn't done until you call the official pest control partner of the Auburn Tigers, Cook's Pest Control.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
Pepper Tree pitching change for Kentucky to number 19, Jack Sams. Freshman right-hander, 6'3", 195, from Lexington and Lexington Catholic High School. Sams making his 4th relief appearance of the season. No record, no ERA, 2 1/3 innings, no runs, no hits, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, no homers, and opponents are hitting zeros against Sams.
Nothing in SEC play.
So he's making his SEC debut tonight. Well, Peterson faced one guy, got the tapper back to the plate, got the runner at home. So 2 outs and the bases loaded for Sams. Big, hard-throwing right-hander for UK.
While we have just a minute here, let's update scores. Yellowwood scoreboard around the league. South Carolina leads Missouri 1-0. They're in the bottom of the 7th in Columbia. Carolina took the opener last night. Florida leads Georgia 8-2 in Athens. They're in the bottom of the 8th in that series opener. Auburn goes to Gainesville next weekend. Oklahoma led Vanderbilt early. Commodores roared back. They're in the top of the 4th. Vandy now leads that one 9-5. Commodores going for the series win. Tennessee, Mississippi State, they're tied at 3 in the top of the 6th in Starkville in the opener there. Ole Miss leads LSU 3-2 in the top of the 4th in Oxford, and through 2 in College Station. Texas and Texas A&M are scoreless. Here's Rembert. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Rembert is 1 for 3. Scalded a double past the third baseman his last time up. First pitch from Sams. Way outside and high. 1 ball, no strike. Rembert a couple of strikeouts against Jelkin, the starter. And then doubled against Skelding. His third look at a righty. He takes a strike. Brought in off the outside corner. A ball and a strike to the Auburn second baseman. Bases loaded. Tigers lead 10-2, bottom of the 4th. 10 runs on 10 hits. Pitch. Swing and a fly ball into center field. Tharnish is over. He makes the catch. And that's out number 3. So Auburn loads the bases on just 1 hit, a walk and a hit batter. No runs, no errors, and 3 left on base. We're through 4. It's 10-2 Auburn. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became the best-selling trucks in America. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. The best-selling trucks in America for 49 years and counting. Based on 1977 to 2025 calendar year industry reported total sales.
Let's be honest, senior living shouldn't feel senior, and it's definitely not all about yelling, bingo! At Atlas Senior Living, we focus on great care, great people, and yes, great days. And no one telling you can't have dessert before dinner. Well, maybe once. And with locations throughout the Southeast, chances are there's an Atlas community closer than you think. Atlas Senior Living, exceptional care, even better living. Visit atlasseniorliving.com to find a community near you and schedule a tour today.
Back to the ballpark for more Auburn baseball.
Move to the top of the 5th. Tigers lead Kentucky by a score of 10-2. Game time tomorrow night is set for 7.
You know what that means?
That means the Plainsman Plaza
Yeah.
is wide open tomorrow starting at 4 o'clock.
Great.
All and around the ballpark out on Donahue. It'll be sectioned off.
Yep.
It all starts at 4. Tiger Walk at 5:15. Inflatables, food trucks, video board with the round 3 of the Masters.
Hello.
Roy McIlroy with a 6-stroke lead.
Dominant.
Over Sam Burns and Patrick Reed going into the 3rd and final round. So all of that tomorrow starts at 4 o'clock out on Donahue, the Plainsman Plaza. Tomorrow starting at 4. Tiger Walk at 5:15.
We'll talk a little more about that through this inning as Hindle starts the inning, takes a ball high from Alvarez. Hindle walked to start the 3rd. It's 10-2 Auburn as we go to the 5th inning. 5th inning presented by Southern Union. Pitch hit off the end of the bat, little squibber down the first baseline, foul. 1-1 the count. The Plainsman Plaza is so fun. There's just so much stuff to do there. Now, you need your game ticket to get in. But instead of like normally the doors opening or the gates opening, 1-1, just missed the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike. Consider the gates open at 4 instead, and with a lot of stuff to do outside before you actually go in into your seat. 2-1, swung on and missed up and in with a fastball, blew it by Hindle.
92.
Yeah,
food truck.
right-handed hitter, steps in, and the pitch is lined towards center. Carter goes back, squares up, and makes the catch. Quickly, 2 down.
Ball was hit well, but Carter just ran it down. Never turned his back to home plate to get to that one. He was at 61 pitches coming out of the third.
Yeah. He is retired 5 in a row since Lawrence singled and Bell was thrown out at home. Pitch. Strike 1, fastball.
And since that third inning, that's just his 17th pitch.
Yeah. Tharnish, the center fielder. 0-1. Breaking ball, missed outside, 1-1. Outfield plays him to go the other way, a couple of steps in left and in center. Bingham pretty much straight away in right. Alvarez looks home into the wind. He kicks and fires. Fastball, jam shot, fouled off to the right.
94.
1-2. Yeah, pitch number 80 running in there at 94 in on the hands. Impressive. 2 outs, nobody on, top of the 5th inning. Alvarez into the wind. He plants and fires, and it's fouled to the net. Still a ball, 2 strikes. Did our stream come back?
So let me check.
All right.
It appears it has.
Wonderful. Hello to everybody watching on the Auburn Tigers YouTube channel tonight. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Alvarez, shoulder square to the plate. Goes into the wind. Here's his pitch. Just missed a little high, I think. 2-2.
Had the plate.
Yeah.
Just left it up.
Tharnish singled and scored in the third. He's 1 for 2. He's also bounced out to third. The 2-2. Got him swinging. Wipeout slider. 4th strikeout for Alvarez. And that is another 1-2-3 inning for Dre. Gets him through the 5th. 5th inning presented by Southern Union. Move seamlessly to Auburn to complete your bachelor's degree in selected programs by taking courses at Southern Union and Auburn concurrently at Southern Union's tuition rates. Let Southern Union put you on a path to the Plains. It's 10-2 Tigers as we head to the bottom of the 5th when Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
Strike out ants, termites, and other pests with a call to Cook's Pest Control. Cook's proven pest control methods and superior termite control system keep your home safe and are backed by a 110% satisfaction guarantee. As the weather gets warmer, your spring cleaning isn't done until you call the official pest control partner of the Auburn Tigers, Cook's Pest Control.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
Yellowwood knows that a 5-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories, like cookouts. Cornhole with friends. Ooh, a neighborhood potluck with your wife's pasta salad. The one with the feta. Oh, sorry. Or taking a nap on your deck in a hammock. Naps are memories. I love naps. For 5-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
Exclusive
New catcher
play-by-play
for
coverage of
Kentucky.
Auburn
We
baseball
talked about how
is
thin
brought to you by Alabama Power. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Auburn Tigers.
We talked about how thin Kentucky is this weekend at catcher, and it was a very tough night for the starter. And Kentucky now going to a guy that has not caught this season for UK. Ryan Schwartz comes in, a 6'4" sophomore from Indian Trail, North Carolina. His first catching of the season.
Bub Terrell gets it started for Auburn in the bottom of the 5th. Jack Sams back out there. He got the last out last inning. First pitch to Terrell is a strike, 0-1 to Bub. Bub has a hit. He has an RBI on a sacrifice fly. He's reached on an error. He has scored 2 of Auburn's 10 runs. Cleanup hitter. Sophomore left fielder. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-2. 10 runs on 10 hits, no errors for Auburn, 2 runs on 3 hits, and 4 errors for Kentucky. 6 in the first for Auburn. 0-2 pitch to Bub. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. He's down on 3 pitches, 1 away in the 5th. And now Eric Guevara, the batter. Guevara 2 for 2, a pair of singles and a walk. He scored twice. So come check out Plainsman Plaza starting at 4 tomorrow, and then the game at 7. Jake Marciano starts for Auburn in the game tomorrow night. Pitch to Guevara. Missed low, 1 ball, no strikes. Nate Harris draws the start for Kentucky, a sophomore right-hander. So Auburn will see back-to-back right-handed starters for Kentucky in the series. 1-0. Swing and a fly ball to right center. Hit it enough off the end of the bat. And the center fielder Tharnish is over to make the catch. Guevara is retired for the first time tonight. And quickly 2 are down in the 5th for Logan Gregorio. Marciano 3-1 with a 1.29 earned run average. Harris 4-2 with an ERA of 5.40. Those are your starters tomorrow night for the 7 o'clock Central start. Gregorio 0 for 2. He's popped up to third. He is grounded to second, and he's walked. First pitch to him at the knees for a strike, 0-1. Auburn scored 6 in the first, sent 10 men to the plate. 2 in the second, sent 7 to the plate. 2 in the third, sent 7 to the plate. 0-1 to Gregorio, missed the inside corner, and it's 1-1. Sams off the quick wind. There is a fly ball to right. On the run, Hansen reaches up, leaps, and makes the catch on the warning track. A couple of balls hit well, but nice plays made by outfielders to track him down. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Auburn is retired in order for the first time tonight. A quiet 5th for the Tigers, who still lead it 10-2 through 5. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Download the Auburn Athletics app, powered by War Eagle Mobile. Buy tickets, be a part of game day giveaways, shop the latest Auburn gear, and manage your War Eagle Plus subscription. And listen to every broadcast from the Auburn Sports Network, even when multiple games are happening simultaneously, on the official mobile app of Auburn Athletics. Download it now.
In the SEC, it just means more. But what is it exactly? It's the fans, the students, the traditions, the legends. It's passion to celebrate deeper, reach farther, think smarter, make an impact off the field. It's that intangible thing that happens when 16 schools raise the bar as one. Because in the SEC, it just means more.
Auburn leads 10-2 in the series opener. Campbell, Bell, and Lawrence, 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up for Kentucky in the 6th. Auburn baseball is brought to you in part by Wind Creek Casino, where the action never stops. Hottest games, loosest spins, and more ways to win. Wind Creek Casino, find your winning moment. Alvarez threw 105 pitches last week. That was on a Thursday night. This is a Friday night, and the opener next week in Gainesville is on a Thursday. He is at 83 pitches now as he starts the 6th. A couple of quick 1-2-3 innings in the 4th and 5th. Campbell reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the 3rd. He's also struck out. First pitch, strike 1, slider. Alvarez gets ahead. He went 6 innings last week in his SEC debut. Then L.J. Cormier pitched the last 3. 0-1, fastball, fly ball, left center field. Terrell goes back into the canyon. Warning track, reaches up, makes the catch. Up against the wall in the canyon. Terrell played it perfectly for the first out. It's our defensive play of the game presented by Cook's Pest Control. Best defense for your home, that's Cook's Pest Control, South's most trusted name in pest control since 1928, and the official pest control provider of the Auburn Tigers.
Helps to know the ballpark, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Yep, that's a perfect example of that. He ran to the spot and then hauled it in. Here's Tyler Bell, the shortstop. First pitch to him, outside with the fastball, 1-0. Left-handed hitting Bell has walked and struck out. Alvarez 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. He took something off that.
That was a straight change, I believe, with some down action to it.
Has not thrown that much tonight.
By the way, Jet Johnston in the Auburn pen.
Okay. Here's the 1-1. Little looper into center. Carter is there. He barely had to move. Had him played toward right center, and he was perfectly positioned. 2 down.
Last 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 4 of the last 5 fly ball outs by Kentucky as Alvarez tries to close out a 6th inning of work tonight.
Pitch number 89 from Alvarez. Guevara comes in on the grass at third. Here it is to Lawrence. Way outside, ball 1.
Remember, he was at 61 pitches coming out of the third.
Yeah. No, he's in, and since that inning, he's retired 8 in a row. Here's the 1-0. Fastball, little bit low, didn't get the call. 2-0.
Whew.
Pitch. Missed high and outside. It's 3-0 to Lawrence. A 2-run single by Lawrence, the last hit allowed by Alvarez. 3-0 to him. Ball 4. It was low. 2-out walk. That's their first base runner since Lawrence singled in the third. A 4-pitch walk to him, and now
catcher Schwartz. Yeah. We understand this is actually his 3rd game behind the plate for Kentucky. Caught 2 games last year and a game this summer, or this past summer in Mooresville in a summer league game.
This is the 10th game he's played in the league, just not caught. He takes a first pitch strike. And in conference play, he's hitting 194, 6 for 31. 1 home run, 3 RBIs. He struck out 10 times in 31 at-bats, the 0-1. It's low and then pops away from Freilich, not far enough for Lawrence to advance. I don't think he read that ball well. So it's now a ball and a strike on Schwartz.
You know Alvarez won 6 innings tonight.
Oh, yeah. Schwartz, 2 homers, 16 RBIs, and a .234 average overall. 1-1, throw to first. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Auburn Sports Network. One pitch from Alvarez. Popped up. Right side, out of play. A ball and 2 strikes. So now 1 strike away from completing his 6th inning of work. And doing that back-to-back weeks in conference play. Crowd try to get behind him a little bit. Alvarez said he deals, and he misses high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs and Lawrence at first after the 2-out walk. Auburn leads 10-2 in the bottom of, or rather the top of the 6th. The stretch. Dre throws to first, runner back. Carson Hansen would be next. There are 2 outs in the inning. All the base runners have come from the first 5 in the order. All the hits have come, rather, from within the first 5. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed. He got him. Alvarez strikes out Schwartz. 5th strikeout of the game for Andreas Alvarez, who for the 2nd time in a row in conference play gets through the 6th inning. Way to close the door in the 6th. The 2-out walk does no harm, no runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left for Kentucky. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Auburn 10, Kentucky 2. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became the best-selling trucks in America. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. The best-selling trucks in America for 49 years and counting. Based on 1977 to 2025 calendar year industry reported total sales.
Are you ready for your winning moment? Find it at Wind Creek Casino, where the action never stops. Hottest games, loosest spins, more ways to win. We've got the highest payouts and the most epic rewards. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner. Wind Creek Casino. Find your winning moment. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Moving to the bottom of the 6th, it's 10-2 Tigers. Auburn set the tone with 6 runs in the first inning. They have recorded double-digit hits for the 3rd time in their last 4 SEC games. Did it 2 out of 3 times last weekend against Arkansas. Bottom third of the order due up here in the 6th, Bingaman, Madrigal, and McCrane. Sams. First pitch, line drive, left field, base hit. Bingaman jumps on the first pitch and sent it through the 6 hole. It's his 2nd hit of the game. He's been on base all 4 times.
Wants to be in the lineup tomorrow, doesn't he?
I think so. He says, I don't care if I'm at first base, right field, DH, put me wherever.
That's right. He can play third, too.
Yeah. Here's Eddie Madrigal. Asked Coach Thompson on Tiger Talk last night about Bingaman. And as miserable as everybody looked at the game Tuesday, first pitch, swing and a miss by Madrigal. Bingaman had a ground ball on the infield. He beat it out, an infield single, just relentless hustle in a game that I think was a 9-run game at the time. And the game rewards that kind of thing. 0-1. Up and away, 1 ball, 1 strike.
We saw that earlier this season.
Yeah.
In a game that Auburn wasn't going to win, but somebody busted it down the line and they just exploded the next. And I can't remember who it was. Maybe in Bristol.
Yes, you're right. 1-1. Fouled back, and Madrigal had a good cut at that. A ball and 2 strikes. Madrigal with 2 hits tonight. He's up to 7 for 26 since coming back from the injury. And 6 for 18 in conference play. A single, a double, 2 RBIs, a run scored. The 1-2 pitch to the left-handed hitting first baseman. Little tapper, left side, tough play. Pitcher fields and throws, and he is safe. Sams spun the tires a little bit trying to get off the mound to get the ball, and then had to steady himself to make a throw, and both of those delays allowed Madrigal to beat that. It's an infield single.
Career night, 3 hits for Eddie.
That's right.
Got jammed on a pitch, and that'll be all for Madrigal. He'll give way for a pinch runner, but that's a good night for Eddie Madrigal for Auburn tonight.
Cade Ballou.
Yep.
Yeah, Madrigal with a 3-hit game in the dugout. Celebrates with him. So Ballou is on to run. He's at first. Bingaman is at second. There's some wheels. And Brandon McCrane.
Well, you get a couple runs across here, get out of the 7th, and this is
That's a good point.
A ball game's over. I know. Don't want to look ahead, but.
Yeah. Brandon McCrane already has 2 hits tonight from the 9 hole. First pitch to him, he shows bunt and bunts it back behind the plate, foul.
And
nothing in 1.
That's what Auburn's playing for right now.
Yep.
Get those runners in scoring position.
Get them over, turn the lineup over, get them home. McCrane up there trying to do a job on the first pitch. Let's see if they keep the bunt on. Third baseman Cloud comes in near the edge of the grass. Runners get their leads from first and second. McCrane squares. And the 0-1. Bunted right side. Good bunt. Tough play. Underhand toss to first by the pitcher in time to get the out. McCrane did exactly what he needed to do. A well-executed sacrifice bunt.
Auburn Baseball brought to you in part by East Alabama Health. With their spacious cancer center, patients can make cancer a distant memory instead of a distant drive. That's why East Alabama Health is Auburn's home field advantage.
Bristol Carter to the plate. He has walked, been hit by a pitch, flown out a couple of times. He has scored 1 run. Infield in for Kentucky. They're trying to make sure the game is extended to 9 innings tonight as well. Here's the pitch. It missed the outside corner. 1 ball, no strikes. First base open. They're not pitching around Carter.
Not with Freilich on deck, they're not.
Right. Bristol should get something to deal with here. The 1-0. Low, 2 balls, no strikes. (10-2) Auburn, bottom of the 6th. Sams looks and deals. Swing and a high chopper over the head of the infielders and into left field. 1 run scores. They will hold Ballou. Now they'll send him and the throw home and he's out. Did Ballou miss the sign? Did he run through a stop sign?
No, the stop sign was up from Carl Nunemaker. I looked down.
I did too. As soon as I saw the stop sign, I looked down because Campbell was very shallow and left.
Judging from Carl's reaction, he did run through the stop sign, but
he hesitated.
Wow, yeah, he went on his own.
Yes, he did.
And was thrown out for it.
He saw Campbell pull up and instead of throw home. Wow. So Carter gets an RBI single, but now there are 2 outs. And here's Freilich, and the pitch misses low to chase. 1 ball, no strikes. Boy. Ballou thrown out 7-2 for the second out in the inning. It's 11-2 Auburn. And the 1-0 pitch to Freilich. Carter goes, pitches inside, throw to second is late. And Carter has his 23rd stolen base.
Tell you what, Schwartz made it close.
Yes, he
did.
did.
That's a really good throw. And will Kentucky challenge? Doesn't look like it.
Nope. Now a base hit gives Auburn that 10-run lead. 2 balls, no strikes to Freilich. Catcher sets up outside. Here's the spin and the throw to second. Nearly threw it away. A lollipop by Sams over to Bell, who's well off the base.
It almost looked like Sams wanted to stop the throw.
Yeah. (11-2), bottom of the 6th. Here's the 2-0 spin, throw back to second, and it does. Hit Carter. It hit him right in the back and rolled into center, but because it got him square in the back, he was not able to get up and advance. Bristol's had a tough night. He took that ball off the elbow guard his previous at bat, and then that one he wore right in the middle of the 5.
Wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't try to steal third. Right
sure.
Here. If he gets enough of a lead.
2-0. Swing and a fly ball into right field. He got under it. Hansen's there for the catch. Makes the catch, and that's out number 3. And the inning is over. Auburn scores a run on 3 hits. No errors and a man left. We're looking for fresh seafood. Wharf Casual Seafood serves seafood sourced from American waters. Not a seafood fan? No problem. They also serve burgers, salads, chicken, and more. Wharf Casual Seafood, 6 locations across central Alabama. Auburn 11, Kentucky 2. We go to the 7th inning. When we come back, this is the Auburn Sports Network.
Here's a clip from a recent Talking Tigers podcast with Andy Burcham.
Auburn University Board of Trustee member Bob Dumas.
My senior year, where we won it, was at Burning Tree in Decatur. Had some great teammates and great players, and it just all came together that week. We had been close. We had had a good year. We'd won several tournaments and felt like we had the capacity and the courage to do it, and we did. I think more was a very joyous time, of course, being the first. But I think later on, as you grow older, you begin to appreciate and value that much more.
New episodes of the Talking Tigers podcast are released Mondays wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe to the Talking Tigers podcast exclusively from the Auburn Sports Network.
As we move ahead to the 7th inning, Auburn leads 11-2, and the Tigers have made the War Eagle Plus call to the bullpen for Jet Johnston, 6 feet 202, junior right-hander out of Knoxville, Tennessee. He's in his second year at Auburn after starting at Texas A&M. 0-1 with a .419 earned run average and 11 relief outings this year. 19 and a third innings pitched, 19 hits, 10 runs, 9 earned, only 4 walks and 23 strikeouts. Team's batting .241 against Jet Johnston. He took the loss in the middle game of the Arkansas series last weekend. That's his first and only loss of the year. Alvarez, another outstanding night. 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Andreas Alvarez threw 97 pitches, 64 strikes. He is out. Jet Johnston is in. Cade Ballou stays in the game. He goes to right field. Ethan Bingaman moves from right field to first base. Madrigal was pinch run for by Ballou. So Madrigal out at first, Bingaman there. Ballou replaces Bingaman in right field. With all of that said, let's head to the 7th inning. Voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham, will take you home.
Brad, thank you. Carson Hansen will lead it off. Big left-handed hitter against Jet Johnston, who goes to work for Auburn in the top of the 7th with the Tigers on top 11-2. Stretch and the pitch. Fastball that misses low. $11 runs on 13 hits tonight for Auburn. 2 runs on 3 hits for Kentucky. Hansen takes it upstairs for ball 2. When Auburn out-hits opponents, the Tigers currently 20-0 this season. Right now, the Tigers have out-hit Kentucky 13-3. Hansen drives one into right, and it'll fall for a single. A leadoff single for Hansen in front of Ballou in right field.
And Jet just ran into the same issue he ran into against Arkansas. He got frustrated, visibly frustrated with a slider that didn't land for a strike, and he just reared back and threw a fastball that got too much of the plate.
A leadoff single for Hansen. He's 1 for 3 on the night. Here's Tyler Cerny. He's popped to left. He's popped to center. Johnson the stretch and the pitch. Cerny takes a strike. On the Yellowwood scoreboard, Florida has won at Georgia 8-2. The opener of that series in Athens. Bottom of the 9th, South Carolina leads at Missouri 1-0. Johnson comes set. Jet pitches. A little bit low, a ball and a strike. Top of the 8th in Tuscaloosa, Alabama 3, Arkansas 1. Bottom of the 5th in Nashville, Oklahoma and Vandy tied at 9. A ball and a strike to Cerny. Johnston comes set. Here's the pitch. Drops low. 2 balls and a strike. Top of the 7th in Starkville, Tennessee and Mississippi State tied at 3. Top of the 6th in Oxford, 3-2, Ole Miss leads LSU. And top of the 4th in College Station, Texas and A&M are tied at 2. 2-1 to Cerny. Ground ball hits Johnston. Freilich will pick it up. There will be no play, and let's make sure that Jet is okay. Not sure where that hit him, but Anthony Sanderson, Auburn's athletic trainer, is out to take a look at the Auburn pitcher.
Yeah, it looked like lower body, and I'm sure we'll get a look at the monitor in the booth here and try to pinpoint it. It was a really hard hit ball back up the middle.
One hopper that looked like it hit him.
Calf.
Yeah, the right calf.
Yeah. That is exact, and it got him flush on the calf.
Tell you what, I think it got him up a little higher. I think it hit him on the back of the knee, Brad. He's trying to walk it off, and Everett Tieford, the pitching coach, joins those around the mound. The head coach is out there as well. And I think they'll give Johnston a chance to throw a warm-up pitch. A one-hopper off the bat by Cerny, and Kentucky has runners at first and second and no one out here in the seventh. Don't know if it hit him right in the back of the knee, but maybe a little bit lower than that. Chet throws one pitch, walks off the back of the mound. Butch Thompson is picking up pebbles as he leaves the mound, along with Everett Tieford, and Johnston will stay in the ballgame. That's at least what it looked like Butch was doing.
Yeah.
Some groundskeeping out there. So runners at first and second and no one out for UK. And here is Ethan Hindle, the second baseman. Walked in the third, fouled out in the fifth. Auburn leads it 11-2. We're in the top of the seventh. Johnston gets the sign he wants. He comes set, a high set. Checks the runner and the pitch. Missed inside.
Just has not been able to land the slider for strikes so far in this outing. Very early, but he's having a little trouble dialing that in.
Jet off the stretch in the 1-0. Fouled back to the screen on a fastball at 93. L.J. Cormier starts to get ready in the Auburn pen. Hadn't thrown yet, but loosening up. 1-1 to Hindle. Pitch on the way. Hindle to right field. That's down for a base hit down the line. Runner around third base. Hansen will try to score. The throw into second base. Not in time. It's a double. A run scores. It's 11-3. And runners move up to second and third on the play.
That wasn't a hard hit ball. It was a slider. In fact, just a good swing by Hindle. Reached across to get it, went the other way with it. But it found a lot of green grass in shallow right field.
So runners at second and third with one out for Kentucky. That makes it 11-3, and Everett Tieford, Auburn's pitching coach, is out.
Yeah, Kentucky had 3 hits in 6 innings against Alvarez, and they've had back-to-back-to-back hits in the 7th.
And that is all for Jet Johnston.
I had it. I printed it.
Thank you.
Just didn't bring it.
Auburn to the bullpen. Tigers make a Ford F-150 call to the bullpen.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
L.J. Cormier is the new pitcher for Auburn. The freshman from Tuscaloosa has been so good in his first campaign in college. 6'1", 173. No record. He does have a 3-inning save. That was last week against Arkansas. 10 appearances, 17 innings, 12 hits, 5 earned runs, 6 walks, and 23 strikeouts. No record, an ERA of 2.65. Teams are hitting just 185 against L.J. Cormier. 8 days ago, the freshman against Arkansas, 3 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, no walks, 5 strikeouts. He pitched 2/3 of an inning Tuesday night against Jack State through 12 pitches. Got a strikeout, faced just a couple of batters in that ball game. So Cormier is on for Jet Johnston. And we'll see if he needs to go the full 3 again this week for the Tigers to take game 1.
Jet Johnston faced 3 hitters, gave up a run on 3 hits. And he leaves runners at second and third and nobody out for Kentucky here in the top of the 7th. Auburn leads it by a score of 11-3. Tigers have out hit the Wildcats 13-6. Both Auburn tennis teams have won today. The men at Ole Miss, the women at home, shutting out Missouri. Auburn's women's tennis team can claim a share of the SEC championship Sunday against Vanderbilt at noon at the Yarborough Tennis Center. All right, here's Caden Cloud, number 9 hitter. First pitch from Cormier, a strike. Change up at 80. Cloud 0 for 2 on the day. Fielder's choice on a line drive to center. LJ comes set. Now the 0-1. Strike. 0-2. A couple off-speed deliveries from LJ Cormier. Cerny at third and Hindle at second. Cormier gets his sign. Comes set. At the chest. The 0-2 pitch. Miss low. A ball and 2 strikes to Cloud. Top of the order. And Jace Thornish waiting on deck. Cormier again off the stretch in the 1-2 pitch. Bounced it up there. Fralick kept it in front of him. 2-2. That's the first fastball from Cormier. And he spiked it. LJ comes set. Now the 2-2 pitch. Line drive down the left field line, curving, a foul into the corner. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. That would have cleared the bases.
Yeah, had him out on that front foot early on an off-speed pitch at 81.
He's thrown 3 pitches in the low 80s and 1 fastball in this at bat. Nobody out for Kentucky in the top of the 7th. Auburn 11, Kentucky 3. Tigers set the tone in this ball game, scoring 6 runs in the first. Stretch by Cormier. Now the 2-2. Ground ball to the shortstop. They'll go to first, give up the run for the first out of the inning. An RBI for Cloud, his 8th of the year. And Hindle to third base on the play as Cerny scores. Second run of the inning for UK. 1 down, top of the order. Here's Thornish.
And you do the same thing again. If you get another ground ball, you would give up the run from Hindle for a second out.
Thornish 1 for 3 on the night. Singled and scored in the third. The pitch to him. Drops low. Auburn softball, tough one tonight. Tigers fall to Alabama. 1-0 over at Jane B. Moore Field. Game 2 tomorrow. 1-0 to Thornish. Strike. Good job by Fralick to frame that one, bring it up. A ball and a strike to Thornish. Runner at third, 1 out for Kentucky, top of the 7th. 11-4 Auburn on top. Stretch in the pitch. Strike 2 of the fastball. Outside corner at 91.
Back to back, just the location changed. Once was over the plate and right at the knees, and the other on that outside corner.
A ball and 2 strikes to count. Cormier comes set. Comes the pitch. Fastball fouled back. Good cut by Thornish. He stays alive at a ball and 2 strikes. Plainsman Plaza opens tomorrow at 4. Inflatables, food trucks. I'll have the Masters on video boards for you to watch. Tiger Walk at 5:15 tomorrow. Tigers in Kentucky tomorrow night at 7. Swing on a line drive, base hit to left by Tharnish. And Hindle comes home to score. Third run of the inning. All 3 of those runs charged to Jet Johnston. And it's an 11-5 Auburn lead. Got ahead and left one up. And here is Campbell. 1 out in the inning, a runner at first, and Tharnish, 24 stolen bases this year. Stretch by Cormier. Here comes the pitch. Off the end of the bat, up the first base line, but it's foul.
Give that another 10 feet or so, it might have circled back into fair territory.
0-1 to Campbell. 0 for 3 on the night. Reached on a fielder's choice, scored in the third. He struck out, he's flied to left.
Auburn's at least guarding against the possibility of a 1-out bunt by Campbell. Guevara's up on the grass at third.
Middle infielder's back looking for 2. It's not an easy team to double up. 0-1 to Campbell. Strike call. 0-2. Tharnish gets his lead at first. And a throw over, not a bad idea. Tharnish, 24 stolen bases in 25 attempts. You want to keep that double play alive. You want to keep him at first. Cormier comes set. 0-2 pitch. Out in front, strikeout. 79.
Threw the changeup at the perfect time and left it up.
6th strikeout of the night for Auburn pitching. The K counter presented by Kia of Auburn, where you're always number 1. And now with 2 outs, here's Tyler Bell, shortstop. 0 for 2 on the night. Line to center, struck out looking, and walked. He was thrown out trying to score from first on a double. Pitch to him. Down and in. Shortstop hitting .327 on the year. 3 homers and 15 runs batted in. Pitch on the way. Fouled it off the front of the Auburn dugout at the end of the Auburn dugout. It's quickly a ball and a strike.
Waited on that breaking ball. Waited. At least got the bat on it, but evens the count. Auburn shifts against Bell. Not the full shift with Guevara closer to third than short, but 3 guys on the right side of the infield.
Stretch by Cormier, and the 1-1. Line drive caught by the shortstop, who was playing on the other side of second base in the shift.
They had him positioned perfectly.
But 3-run score in the inning on 3 hits. Make that 4 hits, no errors, and a man left. We go to the bottom of the 7th. By the way, 7th inning stretch time at the ballpark. Game 1 between Auburn and Kentucky. Tigers lead it 11-5, and Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
There's team pride, and then there's extra Tiger pride. When I'm carrying the Auburn University Regents Visa debit card or prepaid Regents Now card, that's exactly what I get. Whether I'm grabbing some extra Auburn gear or picking up an extra dozen wings for the game, this card always brings it. Sometimes I get an extra War Eagle from the cashier too. Visit Regions.com/Go Tigers to get yours.
Extra changes everything. And at Regions, Extra is our ordinary. Official bank of the SEC, member FDIC.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
This game recap is presented by Regions Bank. Regions is a proud partner of Auburn University and the official bank of the SEC.
Auburn scored 6 times in the first inning. Twice in the second, twice in the third, once in the sixth. The Bats going at it early. 11 runs on 13 hits for the Tigers tonight, and Andreas Alvarez 6 strong innings in his second SEC start. Auburn leads 11-5, and Kentucky has made a pepper tree pitching change to right-hander Berkeley Bounds, B-O-U-N-D-S. Bounds is 2-1 with a 7.88 earned run average, 12 outings, all in relief. He does have a save. 16 innings in 12 appearances, 16 hits allowed, 14 earned runs, 10 walks, 23 strikeouts. He's hit 2, thrown 2 wild pitches, given up 4 doubles and a homer. Team's hitting .267 against Berkeley Bounds. 3 SEC appearances, 4 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs, 5 walks, 2 strikeouts, 3 doubles and a homer. SEC teams hitting .471 against the right-hander, and a 15 3/4 earned run average. He's 0-1 in league play. Berkeley Bounds on for Kentucky.
He will get Chris Rembert to lead off the Auburn 7th, and the first pitch misses low and away. Rembert 1 for 4 on the night with a double.
Sams went 2 1/3, gave up a run on 3 hits, no walks, and a strikeout. 24 pitches, 16 strikes.
Rembert waves at that one coming by. Off-speed delivery, a ball and a strike to the Auburn second baseman. Average at .311, 3 homers, 23 runs batted in. Now the 1-1. Rembert chops it foul up the third baseline past Carl Nonemaker. Foul. 1-2 to the preseason All-American second baseman for the Tigers. Bounds the wind and the 1-2. Tried to hold up. The ball gets away from the catcher. Rembert will be tagged out for a strikeout for the first out of the inning. Whether you're planting a tree or tackling a backyard project, don't risk a penalty. Contact Alabama 811 before you dig to get your underground utilities marked for free. Visit al811.com or call 811. It's free, it's simple, and it's the law. One out. And here's Bub Terrell. Line in the pitch. Bub chops it right side. First baseman on a hop will take it to the bag. 2 quickly gone for Auburn in the 7th. And now Guevara. 2 for 3 on the night. Singled and scored in the first, singled and scored in the second, walked in the third, and flied to left in the 5th. Bats with 2 outs and nobody on in the Auburn 7th. Tigers on top 11-5. Wind in the pitch. Bounced it up there. "11 runs, 13 hits, no errors. Auburn has stranded 9. 5 runs, 7 hits, 4 errors. The Cats have stranded 4. Guevara takes that one low, a ball and 2 balls and no strikes. Two outs and nobody on for Auburn in the 7th. 2-0 pitch. Inside, ball 3 to Guevara.
Well, he cruised through the first 2 batters.
3-0. Strike call in the inside corner to Guevara. Two down, nobody on for Auburn. Here comes the 3-1 pitch to Guevara. Strike 2. Full count to Eric. Burns the wind in the pitch. Jammed him to the shortstop. Charges, fields, throws, and got him by a step. Nicely played by Tyler Bell, and the inning comes to a close. Auburn goes down in order. We're through 7. Auburn 11 and Kentucky 5. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Looking for a street legal golf car? Diamond Golf Cars has the largest selection in the state, and the Auburn store is right off Oplacker Road, closer than you think. With locations in Auburn, Birmingham, and Huntsville, they've been raising the bar since 2012 in golf car sales and service. Need a tune-up? Diamond Golf Cars is full service for all your golf car needs, and they offer pickup and delivery. Carrying brands such as EasyGo, Club Car, Yamaha, and much more. Visit DiamondGolfCars.com today and drive different. Drive Diamond.
The Goose Performing Arts Center at Auburn University is Alabama's premier destination for the arts, bringing you the very best of Broadway, dance, music, and more. Learn more about upcoming performances and see the calendar of events online at gougecenter.auburn.edu. That's GOGUE center.auburn.edu. Or call the box office 334-844-TIXS.
Four, 5, and 6 hitters for Kentucky in the top of the 8th. It'll be Lawrence, Schwartz, and Hanson as L.J. Cormier is on for his second inning of work. Glad to have you with us tonight on the Auburn Sports Network. Our coverage begins at 6:45 tomorrow night. Tigers and the Cats, 7 o'clock here. 2 o'clock on Sunday. Luke Lawrence 1 for 2 on the night with a single. He drove home the first 2 runs of the night for UK. Left-handed hitter. Guevara up on the grass. Auburn with the shift to the right side of the infield. First pitch. High and away for ball 1.
Cormier faced 4 batters last inning. He got 3 outs. He gave up 1 single. You just kind of want to pull that rope back to the middle.
1-0, drops in for a strike to Lawrence. The ball and a strike.
Really good curve ball there. In terms of momentum for this game, it's a 6-run lead. Don't want to see it get a whole lot closer than that and end the game well.
1-1 upstairs. 2 balls and a strike to Lawrence. Cormier, the wind in the 2-1. Lawrence swings and fouls it up and out of play left side. 2-2. To the cleanup man for the Wildcats, the DH. Hitting .347 on the year. 3 homers, 24 runs batted in. The pitch. Ground ball up the middle. It's a base hit. Through the shift. Lawrence is on with a leadoff single. Second hit of the night for Lawrence. And that brings Ryan Schwartz to the plate.
Back-to-back innings, they put the leadoff man on base. 3rd time in the game.
Schwartz came on to catch in the bottom of the 5th. He's 0 for 1 at the plate with a strikeout. Stretch and the pitch to him. Inside, ball 1.
Yellowwood scoreboard. So Missouri takes 2 of 3 from this Kentucky team in Lexington last weekend. They've dropped the first 2 at home to South Carolina. Final 1-0 tonight in Columbia. Arkansas has taken a 7-3 lead at Alabama in the top of the 8th in Tuscaloosa. Oklahoma has grabbed a 13-9 lead at Vanderbilt in the bottom of the 6th. Marathon game in Nashville. Tennessee, Mississippi State have been tied at 3 for a long time. They're still 3-3 in the 8th. And Texas leads Texas A&M 4-3 in the 5th. Still 3-2 Ole Miss over LSU on the Yellowwood scoreboard. They're in the 6th in Oxford.
A ball and no strikes to Schwartz. Cormier pitches. Schwartz, jam shot, foul ball up the right side, which will get out of play. 1-1. Schwartz, 6'4", 215 from Indian Trail, North Carolina, from Combine Academy High School. 6'4", 215. Right-handed hitter. Awaits the 1-1 instead of throw to first, and Lawrence is back. Lawrence 11 from 15 in stolen bases. More action in the Auburn pen.
That's Hetzler.
Stretch. 1-1 pitch to Schwartz. Strike on the outside corner.
Be tempted to go back there. He's been able to hit that outside corner right at the knees with the fastball.
Stretch in the 1-2. Fouled back here off the screen. Same two teams tomorrow night at 7. Coverage at 6:45. Plainsman Plaza will open at 4. You do need your ticket to get into Plainsman Plaza. 1-2 pitch. Lifted up and out of play off the right side over the 984 club.
Schwartz did a good job to keep his head down, wait on that breaking ball. Fastball might be effective again here against him.
A ball and 2 strikes to Schwartz. A runner at first, no one out. We're in the top of the 8th. Tigers lead 11-5. Stretch by Cormier in the pitch. Foul, tip just out of the glove of Frelick. Thought he should have caught it. Stretch by L.J. Cormier, the 1-2 pitch. Got him swing on a pitch down. The runner tries to go to second base, and he is safe.
Oh, I think they got him.
And Auburn will ask, I think, for an appeal.
Cormier, Rembert, and McCrane all at once asked for the appeal.
Auburn is challenging the call of safe at second base. The play's under further review.
It is a strikeout for Cormier, his second of the night, 7th tonight for Auburn pitching. K-counter presented by Key of Auburn. Lawrence, as that ball got in the dirt, took off for second base. A really good throw by Frelick.
Yeah.
As soon as Damian Beal called him safe, half of the Auburn defenders on the field were calling for an appeal.
Replay on the big board.
We've yet to see it on our monitor. And I think we're going to get another look. Really good throw by Frelick, a one-hopper. Ooh.
Hey, I think he got him,
I do too. That was a great tag by Rembert. Regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they got him. I think he's out.
Right there on the left wrist.
Centralized replay. All the umpires stay on the field. They're talking with folks in Birmingham. Here's the call.
After review, the runner at second is safe.
What?
Auburn has 1 challenge remaining.
One out.
Okie dokie.
It is called a wild pitch. Really good job by Frelick even to make it close at second base. So a runner in scoring position. Here's Carson Hansen, the right fielder. He's 1 for 3 with a run scored. Left-handed hitter against the righty Cormier, the pitch. Line drive into right field on a hop to Blue. Runner at third will hold up there. And it's runners at first and third with 1 out here for Kentucky in the 8th.
They're not going to go quietly, are they?
They are not, in any regard.
Nope. Right.
Runners at the corners with 1 out for Kentucky. Auburn thought they had Lawrence at second, did not get the call. He went to third on the single by Hansen. And here's the first baseman, Cerny, who's 1 for 3. But not before Everett Tieford makes his way to the mound. Hetzler in the Auburn pen.
Strategy here with the runner at third. You try to play double play depth up the middle. Cerny has hit it in the air twice tonight to the outfield.
As the home plate umpire Alex Ransom gets to the mound, Auburn breaks up the meeting. Runners at first and third, one out for Kentucky in the 8th. And here is Tyler Cerny. He's popped to left. He's popped to center. Cormier stretches. Here's the pitch. Line drive up the right field line. Foul and into the corner. Auburn leads 11-5. Tigers have out hit the Wildcats 13-9.
Some new signs from Chase Freilich to the defense.
Hansen at first and Lawrence at third. Now the 0-1. Strike two. Couple strikeouts from Cormier, 7 on the night for Auburn pitching. He could use another right here. He comes set. 0-2 pitch. Got him swinging with a fastball in the inside corner. 2 down.
Back-to-back fastballs to close out that sequence by Cormier.
8 Ks on the night for Auburn. The K counter presented by Kia of Auburn, and here is Ethan Hindle with 2 outs. He doubled home a run back in the 7th. 1 for 2 on the night. First and third, 2 down for Kentucky in the top of the 8th. Cormier the stretch. Here comes the pitch. Fastball, strike. Fastball at 91. LJ comes set. 0-1 to Hindle. Strike 2. Dropped in the curve. 0-2 the count.
Feel like that strikeout pulled a little momentum back Auburn's way, and if Cormier could finish off this at bat, they'd really take it into the bottom of the inning.
LJ comes set. Now the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a fastball. He struck out the side. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. A handshake for Freilich to Cormier as he comes off the mound. We go to the bottom of the 8th, Auburn 11, Kentucky 5. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
You've created a comfortable home office. Now let Carrier provide the cash bonus. For a limited time, you can claim up to $1,550 in cool cash rebates on a qualified Carrier home comfort system. There's never been a better time to upgrade to year-round premium comfort and energy savings. Carrier. Turn to the experts.
He's got the speed. He's got room. He's going to score.
No one gets you closer to the game than Sirius XM College Sports Radio.
For the win. Got it. Let's go.
Tune in for news, talk, and analysis from the offseason through regular season and into the postseason. We've got your team covered anywhere you go.
Deep to center field. Oh, it's gone.
Get a free trial at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 2025.
This broadcast of Auburn baseball is brought to you in part by Cook's Pest Control. The best defense for your home is Cook's Pest Control, the South's most trusted name in pest control since 1928, and the official pest control partner of the Auburn Tigers.
Auburn leads 11-5 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is a new pitcher for Kentucky, a Pepper Tree pitching change. Their 7th arm of the night is Bryson Treichel, T-R-E-I-C-H-E-L, Treichel, out of DeLand, Florida, sophomore, 6'4", 190, a right-hander. And he is making his first appearance of the season. Second Kentucky pitcher to make his season debut tonight. With North Florida last year, 15 appearances, 14 starts. He was 4-5 with a 5.25 earned run average. 61 and 2/3 innings, walked 24, struck out 74. All freshman team in the Atlantic Sun. So Treichel, 6'4", 190, good height, right-hander, on for Kentucky to pitch in the 8th. Bounds pitched a 1-2-3 7th.
Logan Gregorio will lead it off for Auburn in the 8th. 0-for-3 on the night. Pitch to him. To the backstop.
Just a bit outside.
Gregorio fouled out in the first, walked in the second, grounded out in the third, flied to right in the 5th. Pitch. Curveball for a strike, 1-1 the count. Stretch by Trickle. Here comes the pitch. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. Two one. Strike on the outside corner, 2-2.
A lot of activity from Trickle before he comes to the plate. Swings the
is.
glove up and a little hitch and then a go.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Logan Gregorio. The pitch. Popped it up into right. Near the warning track, right fielder Hansen now in a couple steps, makes the catch. 1 down. Conecuh Smoked Sausage is a fan favorite for tailgating. Now you can enjoy a grilled Conecuh sausage dog, our premium hot dog here at Plainsman Park. Conecuh, family owned, made in Evergreen, Alabama since 1947. Make Conecuh sausage part of your game day. 1 out. Here's Ethan Bingaman. It's been a good night for Bingaman. He's been on base all 4 times tonight, driven home 3 runs. Pitch, swing, fly ball into center, and it's down for a base hit. 3 for 3 night for Bingaman. On base 5 times, he's driven home 3 runs. And now here's Cade Ballou for his first at bat. Came on as a pinch runner in the 6th. Was thrown out trying to score in that 6th inning.
Bingaman's second 3-hit game in this freshman year.
Stretch in the pitch. Ballou takes it high and outside. Cade batting .203 on the season, looking for his first home run. He's driven home 6. 1 out single by Bingaman. Stretch in the pitch. Cade swings and misses out in front. Ball and a strike. Brandon McCrane waiting on deck for the Tigers. Auburn leads 11-5. The pitch. Ballou fouled it back and almost hit McCrane in the on-deck circle. 1-2. Same 2 teams tomorrow night at 7. Our coverage starts at 6:45. The Plainsman Patio opens at 4. Tiger Walk, 5:15.
Looking forward to seeing Jake Marciano with the extra day
Yes,
of rest.
indeed.
And primetime game. Chance for him to show what we've seen all year.
1-2 to Ballou. Just got a piece of that one.
You're up 6 here. 1 run since the 3rd inning. Like to see Auburn maybe scratch another 1 or 2 across. Kind of stay in the flow offensively.
Stretch and pitch. Ballou swings and misses. That one sends it downstairs. 2 outs. And here is McCrane. Brandon is 2 for 3 on the night. RBI. Doubled and scored, singled and scored, a strikeout, and a sacrifice bunt. Auburn got a run in the 6th. That was the last run for Auburn. 2 outs, a runner at first. Pitch on the way to McCrane. Inside, and it hit him. Off-speed delivery. And it brings Bristol Carter to the plate.
The bottom third of Auburn's order tonight have been on base 11 times.
They've driven home 5 runs.
Yeah.
They've scored 4 times. Top of the order here now. Here's Carter. Pitch on the way. Strike called on an off-speed delivery on the inside corner. Bristol with an RBI single to left in the 6th. Been hit by a pitch. He's walked. He's popped up a couple times. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Pitch was off the outside edge. 0-2. 2 down in the inning. Runners at first and second for Auburn. Tigers lead this one 11-5. The pitch. Carter takes it just off the outside edge. That's a good eye. A ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch to Bristol. Line drive into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Runner around third will try to score. The throw home is cut off. And the Tigers go up 12-5 on Bristol Carter's second run-scoring hit of the night.
Bingaman scores for the 3rd time tonight, and really good to see back-to-back, not just getting on base, but back-to-back hits by Bristol Carter. Came in struggling offensively in SEC play. We'll see if this can carry over a little bit through the rest of the weekend.
And here is Chase Fralick. He scored a couple times on the night, driven home a run. Pitch on the way, high and away for ball 1.
After Kentucky got out to the big deficit, after Auburn got to the big lead, they held back some of their main bullpen guys. They'll still have them available for tomorrow.
1-0 pitch to Fralick. Drops in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to the Auburn catcher. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. A run home for Auburn in the 8th. 12-5 Tigers. High fly ball into right center field. Not deep enough. Center fielder over, makes the catch, and the inning comes to a close. We go to the 9th. A run home for Auburn in the 8th. Tigers lead it by a score of 12-5. And this is the Auburn Sports Network.
Enjoy baseball and softball season on the Plains with live sports radio presented by Alpha Insurance. Auburn Sports Network broadcasts are available with no delay at both Plainsman Park and Jane B. Moore Field. Every grand slam, stolen base, and strikeout, yours with no delay. Look for the live sports radio kiosk around the ballpark. Live sports radio lets you take the broadcast with you at every football game, plus home men's and women's basketball games, baseball, and softball. Live sports radio presented by Alpha Insurance.
In the SEC, it just means more. But what is it exactly? It's the fans, the students, the traditions, the legends. It's passion to celebrate deeper, reach farther, think smarter, make an impact off the field. It's that intangible thing that happens when 16 schools raise the bar as one. Because in the SEC, it just means more.
LJ Cormier tries to close things out in the top of the 9th. Auburn leads Kentucky 12-5 as we pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Auburn Sports Network. "36 pitches for Cormier since he came on in the Auburn 7th. He will get the 9, 1, and 2 hitters for Kentucky in the 9th, with Auburn on top 12-5. Tigers scored 6 runs in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, another single run for Auburn in the 6th, and another in the 8th. Tigers about hit Kentucky tonight 15-9. And Cloud will lead it off against Cormier, who winds and fires. Fastball down the middle for a strike. Cloud 0 for 3 on the night. Second look at Cormier. He was the first one to face Cormier and grounded out to the shortstop, Brandon McCrane. Wind and delivery. Strike 2. Cormier peers over the top of his glove, shakes off a sign, now fires. High fastball, and it was fouled back. Actually, a high off-speed pitch fouled back by Cloud. Tharnish and Campbell scheduled to follow here in the 9th. Tigers lead it 12-5. Wind in the pitch. Fastball high. Top of the 7th, LSU Ole Miss tied at 3 on the Yellowwood scoreboard. That game in Oxford. Top of the 6th, 4-4, Texas and A&M in College Station. The pitch. Line drive into left center field. That's down for a base hit off the end of the bat. And Cloud has his first hit of the night. Couple wild ones going on elsewhere. Bottom of the 7th in Nashville. Oklahoma 13, Vanderbilt 11. Bottom of the 8th, Tennessee leads at Mississippi State 6-3. Bottom of the 9th, Arkansas 7, Alabama 3. Couple finals. South Carolina over Missouri 1-0. Florida 1 at Georgia 8-2 on the Yellowwood scoreboard. All right, top of the order. Here's Tharnish. 2 for 4 on the night. The pitch. Line drive, base hit to left. First and second and no one out for UK. Auburn would dearly love to get Cormier through the rest of this game and save anybody else to come in from the bullpen, but Kentucky's put runners at first and second with 1 out. And Chase Freilich is out to talk it over with the pitcher, and here comes Everett Teaford. That's 42 pitches right now, and Auburn will make a Cook's Pest Control call to the bullpen.
Strike out ants, termites, and other pests with a call to Cook's Pest Control. Cook's proven pest control methods and superior termite control system keep your home safe and are backed by a 110% satisfaction guarantee. As the weather gets warmer, your spring cleaning isn't done until you call the official pest control partner of the Auburn Tigers, Cook's Pest Control.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
Cook's Pest Control pitching change for Auburn to Ryan Hetzler. 5'11", 185-pound junior right-hander from Corona, California, transferred to Auburn from Cal Baptist. Hetzler 3-1 this year, a 2.57 ERA. This will be his 10th relief appearance with a save. 14 innings, 6 runs, 4 earned on 16 hits, struck out 15, walked 3. He's given up 2 homers, and opponents are hitting .286 against Ryan Hetzler. In Southeastern Conference play, Hetzler 1-1, a 1.23 ERA. This will be his 4th appearance, 7 1/3 innings, a run on 10 hits, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, no homers. And opponents hitting .333 against Ryan Hetzler. Cormier goes 2 innings for Auburn, gives up no runs on 5 hits, 4 strikeouts, a wild pitch. He threw 42 pitches, 34 for strikes. But he leaves runners at first and second with nobody out for Kentucky in the top of the 9th, and Auburn on top by a score of 12-5. And Scott Campbell Jr. about to come to the plate to face Hetzler. Second stint for Hetzler this week. Pitched against Jacksonville State, went 2 innings, gave up 2 unearned runs on 2 hits. This will be the 3rd time he's pitched against Kentucky. Twice last year, got a save going an inning in Auburn's 8-7 win, and then came on for 2/3 of an inning in an Auburn 8-7 win in 11 innings. Stretching the pitch to Campbell, swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. Guevara up on the edge of the grass at third. Stretch in the 0-1 pitch. Misses outside, a ball and a strike. Cloud at second and Tharnish at first. Hetzler comes set. 1-1 to Campbell. Strike with a fastball. 93 on the heater. 2 on, nobody out for Kentucky. Top of the ninth. Tigers up 12-5. Hetzler comes set. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball could be 2. Shortstop to second for 1 to first. Scooped out of there for the double play. Nicely done over there by Bingaman. McCrane to Rembert to Bingaman for the first and second outs of the inning. Taylor made double play and Bingaman scooped it out over there. Now there's 2 down, and here is Tyler Bell. And Cloud went to third on the play. Bell is 0 for 3 on the night with a walk. Tigers trying to get above 500 in the SEC, 1 out away from doing just that. Hetzler stretches and pitches. Fly ball into left field. There is Terrell. He's on. He makes the catch, and that's a winner for Auburn. Hetzler comes in and gets the double play on the line out. The inning is over. The game is over, and the Tigers win it 12-5. Stay tuned. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
Alabama Power is here for you when big storms hit. But we're also here for the little things. We're there to get the coffee started, to make sure everyone's ready for school, for midday dance breaks, and evening entertainment. We're also there to help you save on all that energy with easy-to-use tips, tools, and efficiency programs. So enjoy these moments.
Kids, movie night.
And we'll do the rest. Visit alabamapower.com and follow us on social to learn more.
Looking for legendary wings, mouth-watering burgers, and unbeatable pizza for your next big event? Baumhauer's Catering is here to satisfy your cravings. From